Dude, Richie is
You are
struggling.
so quiet now. Holy shit.
Okay, Langley, quick sound check.
Check 1, 2, but you're quieter than
Oh my
fucking...
god.
Yeah, no, I'm tucking myself in now. Look, check 1, 2. Is that any better? Check 1, 2.
Okay.
I need to drop
Testing,
everything
testing,
by
1,
2.
2. Testing. I'm going to bring that forward actually a little bit more.
You might want to increase the PSIs more if the track is like
Good evening and welcome back to SimPlay Motorsport. We are here live from a wet Watkins Glen. That is right. Not only did the session of practice start dry with sunny, clear skies, the rain has moved in and it has come with a vengeance. You can see the 2+ markers on the 10 and 30 minute board saying that the rain is going to intensify as this session goes on towards that final, towards the end of practice and only into that sprint race. Could we see a potential flooded track? Hope you're all doing well. Apologies if the stream quality doesn't look as good as normal. I am on the new PC, and the one thing I've not managed to do today is get the Streamlabs settings sorted. So I will sort that out for tomorrow night. Don't you worry about that one. But I'm joined by my partner in crime, the lovely Langers. Grey Langley joins me here for a not so cold 21 degrees. It's shorts weather for an Englishman, or a Welshman, should I say. Whoa, geez, big mistake there. But it is wet, Langley, and this is going to provide drama for these drivers.
It's going to provide big drama tonight. You can expect a lot of cars off, a lot of cars not comfortable with the conditions. It's been dry almost all week in the practice server, and it's going to be dry tomorrow night as well for the Pro. It was dry last night for the Houdan Cup. But the skies have opened up on these Pro-Am drivers. The racing gods don't like them as much, apparently. And, yeah, so we are going to be treated to a spicy race tonight. And quite excited for it. I'm expecting the track to be almost flooded, near flooded in qualifying. Or not qualifying, race 1, because it's only an hour gap. And as you just mentioned, that 10 and 30 minute intervals is even heavier rain than we have right now on an already wet track.
It is indeed. The championship standings will give you first after the first lot of drop score points are taken into account. Gary Leach is your current leader in the silver category. He is on 291.5 points due to the Indianapolis race being times 1.5 more than the value. Then it is that of Sam Greaves on 290, 1.5 points in it, so not a lot there. Steve Millington is in third, 2 points clear of Mirko Ricci. Wolski is in fifth from Sam Williams. Michael Johnson, Tanner Kneebone, Keenan Stardog, Kieran Argent rounding out the top 10. 11th for Flores before Hunt in 12th, Lee 13th from Sturrock in 14th. Then it is De Block, Vasic, Williams, Waste, Brian Craig, Gabino, Andrew Taylor, Dronelander, Betterson, and yet to see Cummins. But we do have a returning face onto the circuit. He is in that bronze category. I'll sort that out for next week. He's meant to be in the silver number, so I will sort that one out for next week. Bounce Limiter returns to the grid, so great to see him back. In the Bronze Championship, it is Page who leads by 6 points from Cherry Moore, who's looking to try and take 2 Bronze Championships this season in Houdan Cup and in Pro-Am. Peckman is third, not so far behind them, only 18 points. Tucker is fourth on 155.5. Malarex in fifth on 153. Broom on 144. Then is Privet in seventh from Stapley in 8th, Taylor 9th from Rob Smith in 10th, Simcoe 11th, and Ian Best we yet to see so far this season in 12th. The team's championship looks like this. SimPlay Racing lead by 130.5 points over Greasy Bandits Racing. They are on fire so far. They're on 569.5. Greasy Bandits tied for second though on 439 with 4Q Motorsport. Greaves and Hunt having a good season. Forever Forward, 50 odd points back from them. They're on 389. Vanguard Race Team are on 346 in fifth. Then it's Richie's Course Team, Cloud9 Racing, Team GPR, Team Merlot, Pages Racing Team, Balkan Sim Hub, and then it's FRL Racing Team, Black and Blue Racing, Billy Nomex, Mustang Alley Racing, and Quantum Motorsport down the bottom of the pack. Interesting to see though, Langley, these championships play out so far. The drop scores have now taken shape on them championship standings, and drivers, you know, Sam Greaves, no points last week due to disconnections here and there with the server not playing ball, but only 1.5 off of Gary, so showing that the drop scores keep these drivers in that championship hunt throughout the season.
And yeah, that's what we do like about it, especially in a league where sometimes you can't make every race, and some of the drivers, when you can't make a race, then that's just your drop score. It helps out in the sim racing world, and it definitely helps out when you get frustrated with disconnects and lag issues like we had last week. So it is unfortunate for the drivers, because last week, as you said, was the 1.5 time points for the race. And honestly, Matt, if we do talk about the 90 minutes from last week, it has had an overwhelmingly positive feedback from both categories. Besides the lag issues we had Wednesday night, that was just outside of our control. But the ones who were driving the full 90 minutes in both Wednesday and Thursday night races, overwhelmingly positive response.
Overwhelmingly positive response, and yeah, really good feedback from the drivers, so much so that the admins have been discussing about adding a few more for next season, which is a positive. Yeah, the feedback, like we say, like Langley just said, bar that lag issues that we had in the Pro-Am night, the feedback we've had was absolutely phenomenal from all the drivers in Pro and Pro-Am, and a lot of people loved it. It was really good to see, Langley, how responsive people was to it, and how much people enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. You was a part of that Thursday night race. I thought it was a belter.
Yeah, exactly. And could you imagine if we, like, for example, this race that we're about to get into, the sprint race, only 15 minutes. Could you imagine this 90-minute race, right? 10 minutes, lighter rain, 30 minutes, overcast.
Yeah,
I'll have some of that for a 90-minute race. So, insider sources may say that we might even start next season with a 90-minute race. That is still yet to be determined, but it was very fun to even drive in myself on that Thursday night race. As I said, it let me as a driver get into the flow of the race, because it's so chaotic with so many cars around you early on, and about 40 to 50 minutes in, that's when you start getting in your groove, and that's what I felt like, and it really helped these drivers. And like I said about a couple minutes ago about this race, we do have a fully wet track with only light rain, so I would expect this track to go from wet to damp at some point with the rain lightning. Wet tires for the whole race, but still expect changing track conditions in this one.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting one to see what plays out here tonight. We go onto the helicopter camera now, and we can see Richard Bettison will line up alongside Andrew Taylor, Gabino alongside Brian Craig, Paul Williams alongside Vasic. He's one to keep our eyes out for, but I say that the practice times are hard to go by because it was dry at the beginning of the session. Sturrock is alongside Jamie Lee from Hunt and Flores, Argent alongside Stardog with Tanner Nebo and Michael Johnson, Sam Williams from Wolski, Mirko Ricci alongside Steve Millington, Sam Greaves alongside Gary Leach, De Block alongside Bounce the Limiter. There are two drivers who haven't made it for this race at the moment. Taylor is then alongside Stapley, with Privet alongside Broom, Malarex from Tucker, Peckman, and then Cherry Moore. Page is one who hasn't got in. I've noticed that Page isn't here for the first race. That's a shame for them, because they could lose that championship lead over Cherry Moore. Their drop score was 0 from last week. But Langers, if I had to press you for a race winner in this first one, who do we fancy?
I think on his day, and I'm going to say this because he's also on pad, and I know there's auto counter steer built into the pad. Don't know why they did it for this game. I figured it out after I started racing on pad. I think Gabino has a very good shot at this one. On his day, he's very quick, and with that little counter steer assistance on the pad, I think it could be a good one for him, you know.
He's the one I'm looking at as well. I think it's going to be hard to see him not do it. His pace improved last season. We've only sadly seen him the once at Brands Hatch this season, where he looked okay. Gabino brings the wet weather, so Gabino may turn up every race of the season, because Brands Hatch wet, this wet. Gabino rock up even more, because this is fantastic. In many seasons, Langley, as well, where we've not had many wet races, the first 4 rounds of this season have been a real mixture in weather, where drivers are going into it. And if we look at tonight and we look at previous races, This is mixed weather tonight. There is a chance it could dry up. There is, as you can see in that 30-minute mark, there is a chance it could even, be a dry start or a dry end to the race. And just noting, Langley, light rain falling now. Track's already gone damp. Could we see, with 30 cars out there, greasy conditions?
Yeah, I don't think they will change off the wet tires. I don't know. It'd be a big risk with only 15-minute race. I do want to point out another driver, quickest in practice, albeit dry conditions. Let me put that caveat out there. Vasich is only 6th on this reverse grid. He was quickest in practice. If it was a dry race, I feel like I would have easily put him as my race winner because he had great pace in practice in the dry conditions. We'll see with the wet. It always throws a spanner in the works, as they would say.
It does indeed. It really does indeed. And I'm really looking forward to this one. I think this has the potential to be an instant classic tonight. That 60-minute race, we saw it at Brands Hatch in the Pro category a few weeks ago. Wet to dry, rained again at the end. I think we're in for one of them nights tonight in this 60-minute race. And like you say, if this was a 90-minute, that would have been an absolute spicy race. But either way, we've got this condition for now. Light rain, drying in 30. We're not going to see that 30-minute dry rain. But will the track go greasy? How quick will the track go greasy? And if it does, what does that mean for the drivers?
I think something to point out, apart from this sprint race, which we're getting ready to go soon, coming out the last corner, the track will be green no matter what for qualifying tomorrow. So that's going to play a big part in qualifying, especially with the bronze drivers going first.
Rubbering the track in for the silver drivers. Let's wait and see, because we've rounded the final corner under the advertising bridge of Go Bowling. Let's hope there's no bowling and no strikes into turn 1 as we're about to go green here for round number 8 of the season. Round number 6 of the season. It's green and go, and Andrew Taylor has got a demon start. Look at Gabino. Bettison hasn't gone well. Look at Vasich, 6th to 3rd.
Oh boy.
No, he's around. Just snuck down the inside. Gabino got damage here as well. Vasich is right in the middle of the road. Points in the right way. And there's more dramas. Is that Mirko Ricci involved? Yes, it was. And that is Privet, one of the 4Q drivers as well. I believe that may have been Hunt. It is. And the 207 of Mick Taylor. So bowling at turn 1 and a strike for some of the drivers already. Andrew Taylor has a comfortable lead in this race. Has he not now? He's absolutely messed up the bus stop chicane and he'll rejoin just ahead of Bettison, and Bettison has to slow right down in the path of Monkey Boy, who's around and in the wall, and who's that with him? That is Wolski off as well. Who else was with him there?
Sturrock.
It's Jamie Lee and Sturrock. No, not Sturrock. Sturrock's still going.
No,
But
Sturrock's going for the lead.
Oh, right. Sorry. Apologies. He is, yes, on Bettison. Oh, this has been an absolute chaotic. Gary Leach, by the way, has come from by the back of the pack of this 20-car silver grid. He's up to 12th. He's up to 11th because Greaves is in the pits.
I mean, I think they took those advertising boards seriously, Matt. In the first couple corners, Go Bowling, and they took it to heart.
They really did take it to heart. Gary Leach now on the back of De Block. So it is Bettison from Sturrock, Williams to the black and blue racing team going well here. Then it's Gabino from Argent up into 5th. Told us in practice couldn't string 3 laps together last night. Let's hope he does a bit better tonight. Taylor's down to 6th from Flores. Tyler De Block from Gary Leach. Then it's Keelan Stardog, Brian Craig, Tanner Nebo. Peckman is your bronze leader from Millington. Johnson, Stapley is 2nd in bronze. Sam Williams down in 14th. Malarex is 3rd in bronze. And it's Mirko Ricci, Cherrymore, Neil Broom, Privet, Vasich, Taylor, Hunt, Jamie Lee, Mark Tucker, Wolski, and welcome back, Bouncer Limiter. That is not the way you'd want to start this race with Greaves already in the pits. And there is Bettison, Taylor, De Block, Stardog, Kneebone and Johnson pitting at the end of lap 1. Are you surprised?
My surprise? No, because the wet always provides good chaos for us, and am I surprised at how much chaos there was? I would say so. I'd like to also point out, at the end of that first lap, Sturrock and Bettison, 2 bronze drivers from last season, leading the way at the end of that lap. I thought there was some very aggressive moves, such as Vasich on that first corner. I mean, he made it 4 wide, tucked to the inside in wet conditions. It was very aggressive. I wouldn't say it was anyone's fault per se, but it was just a very aggressive move for lap 1, turn 1.
Something he didn't really need to make, as there is Gabino, who has stayed in 3rd place, all over the back of Paul Williams at the moment. Here comes Kieran Argent further down the pack as a stop-go penalty now for Richard Bettison. His night's gone from bad to worse.
Leader.
He was the race leader. Peckman is gaining on the back of Brian Craig. Steve Millington's not able to go with them. We've got Malarex closing in on Mirko Ricci, and then a lot of cars was in the pit lane on that lap. So we'll see what happens in this race. But out front, Gabino putting the pressure on Paul Williams. This is on board with Gabino, looking to the rear of that Aston Martin. Sturrock a little slidey out this corner. We saw GT4s in the dry just have that rear end step out through that left-hander, Langley. It's going to be even worse, that corner in the wet. And it's greasy, Langley. The track has gone greasy, and it's going to be dry in 10. This may be the call to pit for slicks now.
Oh, my goodness. I think that was Paul Williams ducking to the inside. He was holding for the pit lane, and Argent went right round his outside. I haven't read the rules or haven't been pinged about. Do you have to stick to the right for the pit line on this one?
Yeah, you cannot cut the pit entry. You've got to be sticking to the right as to not cut across the circuit out the final corner. So drivers have got to be wary of that. But this could be the shout. Those who pit this lap, I didn't know if it went greasy last lap. Maybe that's why so many came into the pits, to maybe put them slick tyres on. Well, let's wait and see, because it will dry now towards the end of this race. You can guarantee that one. And this is going to be interesting. 30 cars going around this track. This is going to play into the... If anybody changes to the slicks, this will play into their hands. Argent trying to fend off Leach, who's your championship leader at the moment. Peckman keeping Brian Craig honest. Mirko Ricci's got the fastest lap of the race, but he's got Malarex not far behind him. In fact, Sam Williams has actually got ahead of Malarex. Dropping down the order, see if there's any other scraps happening. There is. De Block's having a look on Keenan Stardog. Bettison's in for that stop-go penalty. There is Tannen Ebone, Andrew Taylor, Michael Johnson, Bounce the Limiter and Vasic, who have all pitted. I'm interested here to see if any of those that's pitted this lap have risked that slick tyre.
And I really wish we could see what the drivers were running. I just really wish we could see what tires they were on, and we can't in this.
Argent's wide. Argent's very deep at the heel. And Gary Leach, well, he gave me the expression, let's use it. Thank your mama for the carrots, Kieran Argent, because Gary will not have an easier overtake to make than that, although he has a wiggle. Argent's lost the rear. Here comes Brian Craig to try and pounce on Argent. Looks to the inside line of the penultimate corner, not quite alongside, and backs out of that. Peckman's now into play. And Argent diving into the pit lane. He's decided to box. Nearly comes back out the pit lane. And in also is Sturrock. Gabino leads from Gary Leach in this race. Brian Craig from Stapley. No, he's into the pits as well. Mirko Ricci, though, stays out on track. And now might be the time that drivers think about doing that slick tyre.
It depends on how comfortable you are driving on a greasy track on the slick tires. If you're not comfortable, I would say with only 8 minutes, you might as well just stay on the wet. But yeah, you can see that like dryish line appear, especially through the S's there, these high-speed portions of the track. I would expect the last sector, though, with all those slow corners, to be a lot more tricky.
I've dropped down to Steve Millington, who's coming through the last sector, and again, there is still a line, Langley. You can tell the difference of the racing line and not the racing line, so this could be a slick tyre track, you know, at the moment, on that racing line only.
It could be. It'd be a risk, though. Like I said, it depends on how comfortable you are. If it was the 60-minute race, it's no doubt you want to take the risk. But in this, especially if you're at the front, sometimes you want to play it more safe than sorry. A drive-through for speeding, Kieran Argent was in the top 5 when he went into pit, and now will be tumbling down the order with that drive-through.
Oh dear, when it rains it pours for Kieran Argent, if you'll pardon the pun. But I think we've got a new net pit leader as well, because I believe it is Tyler De Block. Yes, it is. Now, I'm looking at the lap times in front of me here. Gabino, last lap was a 52.940. That was his fastest. Tyler De Block did a 53.0. We'll keep our eyes on them two especially and see if anybody has changed that slick tyre. But I think the track looks pretty good here on that racing line if he can keep it there. Leach now takes the lead of this race as Gabino boxes. Brian Craig is sadly in a wall. Yellow flag final sector. That is for Brian Craig, who is around and will not rejoin just yet. That is Hunt who's coming past him. Where's his teammate Tucker? Not quite near him. But Sturrock has fell behind De Block and Stardog and Kneebone. Can he get back in front? De Block, your net pit leader. Let's see where he'll be in relation to Gabino, who is in the overall lead of this race.
Yeah, we'll see where they come out the pits. I still am very curious to if you do put on dry tires, it's an extra 5 seconds as well.
Yeah, so will it be worth that 5 seconds? Because your wet tyres will be starting to overpressure and really start to scream at you in this one. Gabino's gone green. He's not off the limiter yet. And we'll see what lap time De Block does now. Leach did a 53.3. Where is Tyler De Block? He's there. He's just crossed the line. I'll wait for that to update on my... Well, he's gone fastest lap. So that tells you all you need to know. The fastest lap was Mirko Ricci, who did do a 52.4. Tyler De Block has done a 50.5. That seems slick tyre to me.
Might very well be number 32.
Mirko Ricci, stop-go penalty.
Oh, boy.
And Gabino doesn't come out. De Block's in the lead. De Block's in the lead here at the moment.
I wonder if De Block has put on those dry tires. Like you said, Kneebone going around the outside of the bus stop on Stardog. Not going to make it work there. Trying to get on Stardog. I saw him make a move on Sturrock into the corner we're coming in now, the next left-hander. He went down the inside, and he does have a run on Stardog here. Stardog to the right. Kneebone goes down the inside. Not deep enough, though. Stardog holds it well around the outside. Might have a run out this corner, though.
I think he's not close enough to have a look. He sticks the nose there to have a look, actually. But, yeah, Stardog does well to hang on to that one at the moment. Dropping down as well. Peckman putting pressure
flying out
on
there.
He is absolutely charging.
4.5 now.
Yeah, really charging at the moment.
So, I do wonder if he did take dry tires, and if he didn't, what's making him so quick over everyone else?
Well, let's just look at the other lap time. Stardog a 51.9, Tanner did a 50.6.
Well, what's Gary Leach doing? Because we know for
Leach
sure
has just
he's
done a
on
53.6.
And De Block's done a 50. Oh yeah, for sure. That's no question.
3.1 seconds faster. That to me is slick tyres on a greasy track, just working better than a wet tyre.
Yeah, that is for sure, 100%. Because we know Gary Leach is on wet tires. We know that. So if there's that big of a time difference, De Block is definitely on dries at this point. And good gamble call. It might. It very well is looking like it's going to work out for him.
Brilliant call from him in this race. Jamie Lee looks like he's a retirement from this one as Tucker's trying to get on the back of Bounce Limiter. Remember, Bounce Limiter is a silver driver. And it's going to dry towards it's just going to get drier. This light rain with 30 cars circling on the track is just getting drier and drier every lap they go. And remember, Tony says greasy because the whole track is greasy, offline and online. But down this back straight to Sturrock there, misses his brakes into Stardog, and Stardog's well off. He's done so well not to put that in the wall as Sturrock, and that is who's that? Is that Gabino, who was all out of shape? It was indeed. Brushes the wall. He loses out to Johnson, who's done the fastest lap of the race now, 49.5. Watch for the Porsche then on the slick tyre, fastest lap of the race at the moment. Sturrock is buried in the wall, and now Tan and Ebone is coming under pressure from Steve Millington in this race as Gary Leach pits. De Block has just come through tow. He's coming down the boot now, and this is De Block's chance to maybe get ahead of Gary Leach.
I think he'll do it. I mean, with how fast he's been these last couple laps, I don't see 49.5. So he's gone a second quicker than the time that he already had set. We just didn't see it because that means Johnson's gone even quicker than a 49.5.
Yeah, Johnson's done a 49.525. De Block's done a 49.542.
They have to be on dries.
At Watkins Glen, you lose 27 seconds for a drive-through, 35 seconds for just refueling, and that is for in and out as well. For a tyre swap, 57 seconds for a non-tyre swap, 25-second pit stop, and 62 seconds you lose for changing tyres.
Kneebon's done a 50.5, so has Leach just not got the pace, or is it really just wet and dry tires? I think it is wet and dry
Leach
tires.
has stopped for slick tyres there. Where's Leach going to come out? He's out the pit lane now. There's De Block, there's Kneebone, there's Millington, Williams from Peckman. There is Stardog. Leach is ahead of Stardog, so he's ahead of this gaggle of cars where Williams has got through, Gabino's got through, Johnson's got through, Taylor may fancy a piece of the action. Look at this. Sorry, it's Taylor. It's Williams who may fancy a piece of the action. Look at this through the S's. Beautifully done from Williams. And Stardog in one S's section loses 4 places as Johnson has a look on Gabino into the bus stop chicane. Backs out of that one sensibly there. Oh my days, what a race we've got at Watkins Glen at the moment. It's dry. The rain has stopped for the penultimate lap of this race. Tyler De Block, fastest lap of the race again at 49.1. Absolutely charging in this race. He's about to lap Vasic. Well, De Block come from the very back of the silver pack. I believe 21st it was. Maybe even 22nd. I did not expect him to be leading this race with 1 lap to go.
Did not expect. I'll be honest. I didn't even expect it to go dry tires in this race, and it did 10 minutes through. And the ones that made the call for the dry tires, it's working out amazingly for them right now. I just wish we could see which drivers were on which tires at this point. We aren't able to see that, but
we have lost a driver. I believe it's Diego Flores. No, he's still there. We have lost somebody from this race because we are down to 29. Maybe Sturrock that we've lost. It is.
I'll be honest. This entire podium, you wouldn't have said would have been on the podium right now at the beginning of this race. De Block, Kneebone, Millington.
Oh, I think
all great drives so far.
I don't think Leach did change tyres because Taylor and Gabino have just driven past Leach like he is standing still, and into turn 1, Leach down into 9th place now with a bit of a tap on the rear of Gabino. What's happened?
Big slide from Leach on the exit there. He's definitely on wet still.
Wrong call then for Gary Leach in this race today, but it's Millington putting Kneebone under pressure. Peckman, your bronze leader, by the way, is Peckman in 4th place overall in this race. What a job from the man who's only 18 points off the championship lead. No Page here tonight. And where's Cherry Moore? Cherry Moore's only 14th. So a great drive from Peckman.
Cherry Moore was involved in the opening lap incident.
He was, yes, you're right.
I believe so. And, well, yeah, you can see his hood flapping, Cherry Moore. And he started dead last in 30th. Got to remember. So, 4th place. Unbelievable result from Peckman.
Yeah.
Has kept his nose clean in this 15-minute race. Has made the right call. And is going to benefit massively as De Block goes into the final couple corners now.
Yeah, here comes Tyler De Block. Had to serve a reverse grid ban, and he's got a qualifying ban coming up again for retirements and penalty points. The track looks bone dry. It is green now, Langley, so it did go dry at the very end. And Tyler De Block, what a show he's put on for us this afternoon. He is going to take the checkered flag, and from last in the silver class to winning in the sprint race, Tyler De Block wins. Tanner Kneebone is going to come home for a 2nd place. What a drive from Tanner, just ahead of Millington. Peckman, though, will be your bronze race winner and 4th place overall. Absolutely fantastic from him. Paul Williams, P5, great result. Andrew Taylor, P6, great result. Say this is only his 2nd week, just ahead of Gabino. Johnson takes fastest lap at the end. Gary drops to 9th. Sam Williams will be 10th place. Stapley, lovely coloured Aston Martin, is going to come home for 2nd in bronze and 11th overall, ahead of Stardog, ahead of Malarex, who's 3rd in bronze, then Broom, then Hunt. Cherry Moore is 6th place at 16th place. So a great haul of points for Peckman. Kieran Argent with his drive-through will be down in 17th. Brian Craig, 18th place. We have got a lapped car crossing the line just there behind Brian Craig. We've gone on board to bounce limiter. Wolski's just taken the fastest lap of the race now at the very end of this one. Bounce the limiter will cross the line for 19th. Privet in 20th place. And Mark Tucker about to just fend off. No, sorry, he's not fending him off because Flores is a couple of laps down. Tucker, 21st. Mirko Ricci will be 22nd place in this one then.
I will say, I wonder if the track dried out because if you remember Brands Hatch, it was a bit cooler. It was very
Yeah.
cool, and the track didn't really dry out. It's 15-ish degrees warmer than that race, I believe, especially track temp. I wonder, and it's not night, obviously. I wonder if that played a massive role in this race to where it dried out the track. It's a greasy conditions even before it even stopped raining.
I'm wondering as well. 25 degrees track temperature, so it is a warm one. We, though, will take a quick break. ladies and gentlemen, to SimPlay Motorsport. We're on board with Mike Taylor. Your championship standings look like this. Steve Millington now leads the way on 352 points from Gary Leach on 446.5. Sam Greaves on 304 from Mirko Ricci on 300. Tanner Nebone on 228. Sam Williams up to 6th on 282, as that is a car stationary. That is Taylor, who is stationary, so we'll jump to the 45 of Stapley, who'll be the next man to start flying that. Johnson is 7th on 268. Wolski is in 8th from Stardog in 9th. Tyler DeBlock is 10th after that big win. Kieran Argent drops to 11th place from Hunt, Flores, Paul Williams shoots up the order with that good result. Vasich, Jamie Lee, Sturrock, Gabino, Brian Craig, Andrew Taylor, Luke Waste, Joe Lander, Bounce Limiter, Betterson and Cummins. In the Bronze Championship then, Heckman now leads the way. He was 18 points behind. He is now near enough. He is 22 points clear of Cherry Moore. What a swing that is for Peckman. Page is 3rd from Malloreck, Broom 4th, Tucker 5th, Stapley Tucker 6th, Broom 5th, Stapley 7th, Privet 8th, Taylor 9th from Rob Smith, Simcoe and Ian Best. Langley, damp track. At the moment, the rain has stopped, so the track is going to just improve from here to the end of qualifying. Times are going to ramp up by the end to it. What we saw in the Who Darren Cup last night, not a lot of people improving to the end. It's going to be polar opposite today.
Yeah, this track is going to go greasy at some point, and greasy conditions will be much quicker than these damp conditions because you can run dry tires in the greasy conditions. Albeit, though, that will mean we have a more even grid split. Unfortunately, if you wanted the chaos, we need it to be the other way around. But this still could provide good drama, especially if it goes greasy toward the end of this first 10 minutes. Then we can get a mixed up bronze grid for this one.
We could get a pretty mixed up silver grid. Because if this doesn't go greasy at the end, people risk staying on the wet tyre throughout their 10 minutes, which we believe Gary Leach did in race 1. If this stays damp for the first lap or two of the silver qualifying, and somebody has risked the dries, that could really throw a spanner in the works.
Yeah, exactly, and I do see that 30-minute marker says rain, but not sure if it'll affect this one yet or not. Could be sooner rather than later. So we'll see. We'll keep eyes on it. Stapley coming around the final corner right now will be the first one to set a lap. What are they all chasing? They're chasing a 153.2, and that's the time for them all to go get.
As Privet goes 3.7 off the pace, here comes Taylor. I believe this is his first out lap since repitting. Indeed it is. That I believe is the 741 of Stardog is out there. Well, and
yeah,
he sets
not
a lap
supposed
time.
to be.
Yeah, not supposed to be. Oh, Taylor's hard in the wall as well. Tucker doesn't set a lap time. What about the 311? So that will be a penalty towards Keenan Stardog. That'll be the bog standard penalty as well that it is now been known to come to the drivers. So Keenan Stardog, what a shame for him.
What happened to who was a drone lander last week? What happened to him, even though he sat in the pits?
Same penalty as normal, except he didn't lose the pole for for the point for pole like the block had. He just got the bog standard penalty, which for everybody at home is disqualified from the whole race.
Oh, disqualified from the whole race?
Yes, I believe that's what it is. I'm sure that's what it is. So
I thought it was a quali ban.
It is as well.
So it's on top of that.
One. Yeah, real harsh one. So Stardog there could be facing, yeah, not the best of things to have done there for Stardog.
Is there even a point of him racing now? That's the thing.
Well, you know, it just depends on what happens, doesn't it?
Well, other than that, we'll focus on the bronze grid for now. A very tight gap. Well, no, it's not that tight of a gap. It's 6/10. Malarex out front of Stapley, and the others filing in behind, just having trouble getting used to those track conditions. The bronze drivers are. Privet almost 4 seconds off the back of Malarex, and Cherry Moore. I think that was a. I don't think that was a push lap, to be fair to him. I think this one will be more of a push lap. I can't really see Cherry Moore being 8 seconds off the pace, to be
No, neither
honest.
can I. And track's just gone greasy, Langley. So all that of will it be greasy for the silver drivers to get out there?
Time for
the
dry
answer
tires.
is no. It is time for dry tyres. So it kind of ruins the end of the bronze qualifying almost, doesn't it?
They
It kind of has that
got to do it quick, because there's only 3 minutes left. They got to do it now, do it quick, and get back out there.
I think they're just going to run to the end of this session. But if you're now in that silver category, sat in the pit lane, although Peckman has pulled to that inside line, he might be thinking of quickly getting in there to get around for an outlap and possibly sneak that pole position point. As Stardog has come back out of the pit lane, by the way, as well. So,
oh my goodness, why?
Yeah, he's in big trouble for that one. Then that will be a big telling off in the steward's room for Keenan Stardog there. Here comes the 186 of Cherry Moore. Not the best of first laps. Is this where it's going to be an even better lap for Cherry Moore? The chance for him to just get onto that them extra couple of places. He does. Moves up to second place, which will be pole position in the bronze category.
That's a great lap. 7/10 ahead of Malarex, basically, and almost a second ahead of Peckman, who has taken a chunk of points out of him after that race one, if I do say so. Yeah, it is time for dry tires. We'll see if anyone is going to, because Cherry Moore is not pitted, so he's still on wets. Has Peckman just come out the pits, or is he on another lap? So
I believe he's just come out the pit lane, because he pulled over on the start line.
I think he's on dries, and we'll see if anyone takes that dry tire risk. It is worth it, and it is ready for dry tires now with the greasy conditions. I stand corrected. On the last race, it's not what you're most comfortable with, especially if your wet tires are glowing bright red. Then it is time for dries, and that is what most of the drivers I was hearing did. In that race one, their wets were overheating, so they just instantly pitted for dries, some on that first lap. Very bold call, I thought at the time, but especially the first couple laps, I thought was very brave. So
Stapley, P1 at the moment in bronze, 0.3 of a second, so track's getting quicker.
Track definitely is getting quicker. I wonder if that's dry tires or not, and this track will only get quicker. So if you can cross that line, and we do keep an eye on it here, if you can cross that line with only 5 seconds before the 10-minute mark, then you can get a pretty good lap in here on those dry tires.
You can cross it on the 10-minute mark as well and be able to finish that last lap. It's when it goes under the 10-minute mark, you're not allowed to do the next one. Here comes Cherry Moore to the line. Peckman's just behind him. Cherry Moore goes back to the top of the timing standings. Peckman starts his one and only flying lap on what we believe is the slicks. And that shows you how much the track's got quicker. Cherry Moore, 1.3 seconds quicker than the silver driver, who, yes, he shouldn't be out there, but of Starlog, that just shows how quick this track is now.
Yeah, exactly, and we'll keep an eye on this because the clock is ticking down. Anyone who crosses the line before 10 minutes can start and finish their lap. So we'll see. I don't think Neil Broom, I believe Malarex here is the last one to cross the line. If he's on the dry tires, he will have the best track conditions. And Cherry Moore, oh my goodness, absolutely dunks on the rest of the field. If he's still on wets, I wonder if he went out on dries early then. And just got them heated up, because if he went out when it was still a damp track, and oh my goodness, I'm looking at that 30-minute marker, and it is heavy rain if it does get to that point.
He was 9 seconds off the pace line, so that's not a bad shout, you know, to say if he was on the dry tyres at the start. And he has, like you said, absolutely slam dunked on everybody else at the moment. The silver drivers now take to the circuit. To block will have to remain in the pit lane. Here comes Stapley, who goes provisional pole in the bronze. So is he on dry tyres as well. We've still got Cherry Moore, Malarex and Peckman, your new bronze championship leader, out on the circuit to finish a lap time. Cherry Moore will be the first to cross the line in this qualifying session. Good evening to everybody in the chat. Swindle Mac saying greetings, SimPlay and chat. Hope all are well. Very well and very excited for this brilliant mixed conditions weather here at Watkins, Glen, good evening to Gareth Anderson and Jimenez and Phil Atherton as well in the chat. Here comes Cherry Moore, 9/10 of a second, so he finds 1.1 seconds on that lap. What can Peckman do? Peckman only goes to 4th. What about Malarex now? But Cherry Moore, has he just taken provisional pole?
But I think that, I don't think Malarex is going to have anything to say to that. The solace for Peckman is, I believe he was the quickest of the wet tire runners, and you can see that's a pretty clear and distinct gap, about 2.5 seconds off of Cherry Moore, and we'll see if Malarex improves. He does. 1.1 seconds. So was he on dry tires? He did get the best of the track conditions. He was the last across the line. As the silver drivers, you see how close they are right behind him. I believe that Michael Johnson going through turn 1 now are all starting their laps.
They are indeed. So that gives Cherry Moore yet another pole position and yet another point in his championship standings to just close that gap on Peckman in this one. So we'll keep our eyes on that as the race goes on. And he's having a ding-dong yo-yo battle with... who's it with on a Tuesday night? I can't remember now. Let's have a quick look. He's having a yo-yo battle with Anderson on a Tuesday night. He was having that yo-yo battle with Page. Michael Johnson, first man out for the silvers. Last silver on track. Could benefit for the best conditions here, Langley. And the track is still only going to get better because 9 cars have qualified. There is 20 more cars out there to qualify, and possibly Stardog himself, who sat in the pit lane. So there's 20 cars out there to qualify in this session, Langley, because the block is on that qualifying ban. So this could be interesting to see how much the track ramps up.
Yeah, it should get quicker toward the end. So if I were them, I'd be keeping my eyes on that rain as well. I mean, it does say heavy rain in 30. We won't get to 30, but will it rain at all? I think the best track conditions are going to come toward the end of the session, and if I were the drivers, I'd be out there getting those dry tires warmed up.
Well, I've just seen a yellow flag for car number 22, who's just returned to the pit lane. And here comes Michael Johnson to round the final corner now and to set his first flying lap of this session. We'll see what he can do as he comes towards the line, and he doesn't actually set a lap time, so there we go. Mirko Ricci, though, tops the timing screen by a second at the moment. The 107's coming down towards the line. That is Wolski. A lot of drivers seem to have not been setting lap times at the moment, because we've only had 3 silver drivers set a lap. Wolski still hasn't. Let's turn our attention to that of... Sturrock's back in as well, so that's great to see. We'll get to the 99 of Andrew Taylor. We've then got the 75 just behind him of Bettison. Taylor goes up towards P... where is Taylor? He's P13. Bettison went up to P5, so a good lap from Bettison there. Let's turn our attention to the 180 of Paul Williams, and then we'll find the number 19 of Gabino. We'll see where Paul Williams can put his car first of all. 16th place, Gabino boxes. So was Gabino on that wet tyre? Because he drove into the pit lane. I don't get why he drove into the pit lane there, but he has. So interesting to see as Sam Greaves is about to set his first flying lap. He's the next car to cross the line.
Bassich and Ritchie setting the pace out the blocks. They are 7/10 ahead of the rest of the field. Nemone in third, proving that he does have pace on top of that sprint race performance.
Yeah, and it was a good sprint race performance. Called the strategy correct and did it right. Got onto the slick tyre at the right time, jumped everybody in the pits, and a great call from Tan and Ebo. What are we going to see weather-wise in this second race? Here comes Sam Greaves to the final corner now. Going to be interesting to see what Sam Greaves can do in this one, to see whether he can bump up the order. He's currently 23rd. We'll then turn our attention back to Michael Johnson as Greaves crosses the line and only goes 23rd. So not the best of outlaps for him. Here comes Michael Johnson. Will he shoot up the timing screens? He will, up to third place. Mirko Ricci doesn't improve. Tanner now finds half a second and goes to the top of the timing tower. What about Millington, who's not set a lap? He moves into fourth. Wolski moves into provisional pole by 25/100ths of a second from Sam Williams.
Wow, only a 1/4 of a tenth off of Wolski. Very tight at the front.
Very tight.
And this track's getting quicker and quicker, and it is green now. It is green now.
So there we go. It is fully dry. on this circuit. Bounce the limiter up into 6th place. Let's try and find the 22 of Kieran Argent. Sturrock has just put a lap time in. He's moved up the order. Argent, that must have been his out lap. We're then going to turn our attention to the 18 because Gary Leach says he's on an invalid lap with the light blue docks. He's been out there from the start. What can Flores do? 3.4 off. Goes all the way up to P10 and finds a lot more time. Sam will be the one to keep our eyes on now. 14 seconds off the pace. That is not where Sam will be. He'll be a lot higher up than that before we turn back to Johnson. But, yeah, Vasic and Richie there didn't find much of an improvement. And Vasic now 4 tenths off the back of Wolski.
Absolutely great qualifying session so far, and I think it's only going to get better. These times are going to drop all the way to the end of qualifying here. So there's no time to look away. Whoever crosses the line, like I said, right before that zero it hits zeros on the clock is going to get the best of the track conditions. And all these drivers out here all look like they're racing, to be honest, with how close to each other they are. They're all trying to improve their times, and those times are just going to keep on tumbling and tumbling.
Oh, wow. Michael Johnson into 3rd. Mirko Ricci onto provisional pole. Here comes Tanner. Now onto pole. What about Steve Millington? What can he do? Can he find any more time? Moves up to 6th. Wolski doesn't improve. What about the Lexus of Vasic? He now goes provisional pole. Williams to the line. Stays P5 in this one. What a qualifying session we're seeing here.
Yeah, and this is exactly what changeable conditions can do. The bronze drivers got the short end of the stick. The highest bronze driver right now, unfortunately, Cherry Moore. We know he'd be higher up if he got these track conditions, but that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. At least you're getting the same conditions as the same class of drivers around you, and they did take advantage of this. So unfortunately, we won't have a big mixed up grid like we usually do, but it is providing some great entertainment toward the end of qualifying session with a green track and the track only getting faster. And oh boy, could this even go to fast, the track? Could the track even rubber into fast with how many cars are out there?
Potentially could. Potentially could. Now, if what I read was correct there, Flores could be the man to get one last lap in. If not, it will be Gary Leach to get one last lap in and be the last driver on the track next time round. But Flores was so close to that margin. We'll have to see if it is him or not. Greaves is on an invalid one, so let's keep our eyes on Michael Johnson. Could, like Langley's just said, could this go to a fast track to just show how much the track is ramping up? It's 26 degrees track temperature. Here comes Michael Johnson, 7 tenths off the pole position time, but the track is getting better and better with every lap they do. The 99, that is Andrew Taylor, he will be done. Here comes Johnson up to 4th. Here comes Richie, no improvement. Here comes Tanner, finds a bit but doesn't move anywhere. He stays 2nd place. What about Millington? Johnson is done for qualifying. Millington to the line, doesn't change anywhere. Wolski up a position. The Lexus doesn't find any more time. Williams goes into 2nd place. What about Brian Craig, who's running in a good 7th? He stays in P7 at the moment.
Oh boy, this is so much fun to watch. Who's going to get the best of the track conditions at the end here? Is Gary going to get another lap in? I think he will, you know, and the number 18 right behind him. Who is that? The 18?
That's Flores.
That is Flores. He's going to get the quickest conditions here.
Kieran Argent up to 6th now. Sorry, Langley. Kieran Argent up to 6th.
From Kieran.
Here comes Gary Leach. He gets one more in and he moves up into P4. Flores to the line now. He moves up to P10 and does get that last lap in. So Flores will have the best of the conditions as we turn our attention back to Sam Greaves. It is still anybody's game here in this qualifying session, but it's currently Vasic from Williams.
Oh boy, I think we're in for a treat here at the very end. Let's see what names go up and what names stay the same. I expect a lot of up and downs here. Wolski, unfortunately, is being held up a little bit by, who is that right in front of Steve Millington? I think Wolski has the pace, but they're both on laps. Millington has no right to get out the way. It is going to be frustrating for Wolski, but we'll see what it is toward the end of the lap here.
Well, here comes Sam Greaves, first of the finishers. Barlow's in the pit. Richie's also in the pit, so he's done for qualifying. What can Williams do in this qualifying session? Currently down in 18th place. Catapults up to P10. That could tumble him down, though, the order. What can Kneebone do? Needs 4 tenths of a second. What does he find? Only a 10th. Steve Millington, like you said, P12 at the moment, just ahead of Wolski and Vasic. Here comes Millington. Moves up to 7th. Wolski goes 2nd. But Vasic finds 6 more tenths in this qualifying lap. What a lap from the Lexus driver there. Absolutely fantastic. Where is that of Gabino? I've lost him on my leaderboard. Bettison's in the pits. Where's the 68? I'm all over the place at the moment. The 68 of Hunt towards the line. Where does he go? 11th. What about that of Sturrock? Where will he end up? He's currently 16th. He moves up to P5. Great lap from Sturrock. Kieran Argent stays P10. And Gary Leach was done. So what can Flores do? 1.4 off the pole. Vasic has absolutely dunked over the silver field in this one. And Flores moves up to 9th. But the pole goes to Vasic.
Wow, what a qualifying session. What a lap from Vasic. And it's gonna he's shown great pace in these dry conditions. It's gonna be so hard to overtake that Lexus around this track anyway, with the straights around here. 6/10 to the rest of the field. Unbelievable lap.
Absolutely fantastic lap. That was brilliant to see from Vasic in this race. Really was a beautiful qualifying session. And I'm just looking at the most successful drivers, obviously, as we know, and that would have also been then. Oh my days, it is wet.
It looks flooded out there, and it is. Oh my goodness, it is
absolutely
pouring it down out there.
Gareth Anderson in the chat has just put rain for the race. There might be a little bit out there, Gareth. Clarbel says he hopes so. Biker Wolf S says Vasic winning, but he is a spinner for sure. He will spin at least one time. Great optimism for Vasic, that one. Well, I like these mixed conditions races. We've had some belted weather conditions this season. Hats off to Mike Matthews.
This is unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It looks close to flooded out there. There's puddles.
Yeah. And the best thing is, Langley, look at that weather in half an hour's time. From this to light rain. Could it dry at the end of this race? Could it dry?
I think so, because it goes light rain in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
It could. It very much could. And we saw, even if it is light rain, that the track could go greasy. So I think the strat here is fuel up the car as much as you can and just run as long as possible. See what happens.
Well, your grid order for the final race of the evening is Vasic from Wolski, Williams from Kneebone, Sturrock Leach, Richie Gabino, Flores from Millington, Argent from Johnson, Hunt to Craig, Greaves to Bettison, Lee to what would have been Bouncer Limited. There will now be a gap because then it'll be Andrew Taylor from Cherrymore, Williams to Stapley, Malarex to Stardog, Peckman Tucker, Neil Broom, Privet, Taylor, De Block at the back who could not qualify. Keep your eyes on Tyler De Block in this race. Langley, pick a winner.
Good luck. I can't. Anyone? Like literally anyone. It could be anyone. If it was dry, Vasic, boom, 6/10 ahead of the rest of the field, easy, big pick. I don't know if my eyes deceive me or not, but it's not dry, and it's not even close to dry. It is pouring it down out there. So who showed good pace? And I think Gary's quite good in the wet conditions.
Yeah. Oh, Tanner's just returned to the pit lane. Sorry, Langley.
I wonder if something's happened with his wheel. That's unfortunate. Tanner's quite good. And the wet is what... Has he returned to the... I don't even see his car in the pit lane.
Oh, no, St. Sturrock's.
I don't even see him.
Oh, no.
Oh, he's fully disconnected.
Yeah, Sturrock's now in the pits as well. And we have lost Tanner Kneebone from this race. That may have been an internet issue for him. Sturrock's now tumbling down the order, but I can't press on Sturrock either.
Garbino was quite good in the wet, but it's hard to overtake in the wet. It's no easy feat. Oh my goodness, Gary Leach just spun. I think he did. He just spun, and he has damage to his car already. On this opening formation lap, he's done an Oscar Piastri, Matt.
Yeah. In a bright orange
He just
car.
hasn't. Yeah, exactly. Monkey see, monkey do, as we would say from last night. The spray is quite bad as well. Not as bad as what I've driven in sometimes, but
Gareth Anderson in the chat said, Wowee, I love it. Jimenez, why do we not have this for the Pro? Because you Pro boys are lucky and privileged, apparently. Do you know Pro always gets the sunshine? It's not quite sunny. Anderson, but yeah, I see what you're saying. And Fury's granddad, I assume this is in response to Biker Wolf says, I bet Kieran spins first.
Sorry, I shouldn't. I guess I still have to pick a winner, huh? Even if he just spun on this lap, I'll go for Gary. It's going to be chaos. It's really hard to pick a winner here. I mean, hell, I think a bronze driver could win this if they keep their nose clean. It's just that chaotic out there. If they get the strategy right, anyone can win this. So, I'll pick Gary just because he has the most experience. He's pretty good in wet conditions himself, even though if he spun on the opening lap and has damage to his front end of the car. But I'll pick Gary. Who's your pick, Matt? Good luck on this one.
I'm going Vasic. Fancy him. I think he's got the pace. We didn't get to see what he did in race 1 because he went 4 wide into turn 1, so hard to judge.
It's a bit aggressive, yeah.
But I'm going Vasic.
He's gone for the easy pick.
Anderson, I don't think it's easy in this condition because look, the weather's changed in 30 minutes. It's no longer just a bit of light rain. It's now turned to it's no longer a shower. It is now light rain. So the weather's constantly changing here. Anderson says turn 1 is for sure claiming some victims. Well, as the sign above the gantry above the start line says, go bowling. Hopefully not 10 pin, but we'll wait and see. Phil Atherton. I made sure there was rain in the air tonight for this track.
Well, according to the starters, it might be 27 pin bowling, but we're green and go.
Yeah, watch Tananebo take the lead of this race after turn 1 because Vesic goes down the line there as Langley takes my catchphrase, and Gary Leach, look at that, right round the outside of 3 of them. Vasic and Wolski nearly touch. Gary's gone from 6th to 3rd. Great start! Tapped by Williams into Mirko. Here we go. It's all going to kick off as everybody slows up the hill.
My God.
Oh, it's chaos! It's absolute chaos! It's like Days of Thunder once again. Oh my days, it is chaos at the S's. There are cars literally everywhere at the start of this race.
I have no idea what happened to Gary.
He got tapped by Williams.
Clear in 3rd.
Yeah, looked like Williams gave him a little tap on the rear into the wall. Well, Vasic is away, and a second clear of Wolski near enough in second. I'm going to wait for them to come through sector 2 because I don't know who is where in this race. One thing I do know is Millington's now on the back of Mirko Ritchie, who probably got out of that the best. As here goes one of the 4 Q drivers in the background. I think that was Hunt. It was who had the spin. Jamie Lee and Gary Leach into the pits. See Gary Piastri boxes with damage from his formation lap, and then in the wall at lap 1. Vasic through the second sector he goes now, leads from Wolski in second place by 2.9 seconds. Williams is 3rd from Cabino. Then comes Mirko Ritchie as Millington's putting him under some pressure. Down towards the inside they go. Here comes Millington looking up the inside of Mirko. Can't get it done there. Mirko, though, understeers aquaplanes wide, and that should allow Millington to take the place. But Ritchie nearly unsafe rejoined on him there. He's going to keep a hold of that one. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that. I think he should have lifted and yielded for Steve to go through, just based on the fact he was fully off the circuit. They're still side by side together, and Mirko and Steve now. Steve's going to look right around the outside. He's now going to aquaplane wide. Wolski's in the wall! I don't know if Langley's there.
Goodness.
Oh, he is there.
Yeah, oh my good! I'm watching the replay from the start right now. I was waiting for a break. I was just gonna let you keep going, but that was Gary's fault on the first lap. He swipes over Sam's nose.
Yeah, I thought so.
Swipes over Sam's nose and causes the incident.
Greaves into the pits. Wolski, did he stay out there? I'm not too sure. Where is he? Can't even see him.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, he's still not going yet. He's still not going. He's off at the final corner.
His car got hit about 20 times in that incident. And Millington just tapped the back of Mirko Ritchie a bit there. It was very close. Ritchie saved it on the straightaway. But oh my goodness.
Argent and Flores.
Slides everywhere. Argent up the inside. Did Kneebone get back in? No, he did not. Or
yeah,
yes, he did. He is 21st. Yeah.
He is 21st, and Sturrock's 24th, and Bounce Limiter's 22nd. So those who managed to avoid the carnage at the start. Here comes Sturrock, actually, coming through towards that bus stop chicane. That Mercedes grunt pulling alongside that of Stardog now. Weather's going to change to lighter rain in 10 more minutes. And Sturrock inside to outside, side by side through the bus stop. Stardog keeps hold of that position. Oh, that's another one off. Who's that? Goodness. That looked like Flores. Is that Flores? It is. Flores from 6th all the way down to behind Sturrock now. In 24th, he might even be behind Taylor. He will be behind Taylor. Wolski carried on going, though. Cherrymore, Leach and Lee all still in the pits at the moment in this race. But Vasic, 5.5 clear of Gabino.
Vasic was able to get clear and run away. And I'll be honest, whoever is deemed at fault for that opening lap incident is probably going to get a very hefty penalty incoming, because that was affecting a lot of drivers' races, especially in wet conditions. I can't see Sam being at fault at all watching the replay. We'll show it later if the action dulls out, but right now it's not dull at all. He held his line on the inside. Gary swiped across his nose and basically wrecked himself.
Yeah, wrecked himself as Mirko Ricci now putting pressure excuse me, onto Sam Williams as Betterson decides to pit.
I saw a spinner! Kieran in the wall! Kieran in the wall! Up the S's of turns 2 and 3. He loses traction and he has heavy front end damage now on that BMW. And Peckman is absolutely flying in these wet conditions. He is an absolute wet man.
He's got the fastest lap. What a guy. Now. What a guy with the fastest lap. Keep it together, Langley. Keep it together. So Mirko Ricci looking up the inside of Sam Williams right now. We missed the spin there of Kieran Argent. But, oh my, Langley is... control yourself there. Up the S's for Argent. And, yeah, maybe headed in 3rd gear. Who knows? As Mirko Ricci goes deep, that's going to allow Millington to get back to him. Peckman gaining on Argent with that damage now. Here comes Andrew Taylor on the back of De Block. De Block has come from P30. He's 9th. This guy can drive in the wet.
I'll tell you what, Peckman and De Block, by far and away, my drivers of the day so far. Peckman is purple as a bronze driver, and not to mention he finished 4th, right? 4th in race 1.
Yeah.
So as you say that though, De Block is a bit wide at that corner, and now side by side with Andy Taylor.
Side by side with Andy Taylor. That is Hunt in the background with Malarex not far behind. This is great for Peckman. Where is Cherry Moore? He's done his pit stop down in 28th. Gary Leach and Jamie Lee still in the pits. They must have had huge damage to their cars. Gabino now fastest man on the circuit at the moment, as we have started lap number 3. But Mirko Ricci putting pressure still onto the back of Sam Williams. Peckman trying to get closer to Argent. Here comes Hunt on Taylor down into turn 1. Hunt has a look. Andrew Taylor goes very widely. I think he tried to leave Hunt the space but left him too much space. Hunt will get through. Could Malarex capitalise? No, he cannot. These conditions are treacherous out here. Here comes Peckman.
Here comes Peckman on Kieran Argent. Kieran with quite a bit of damage on his BMW now, going to have to defend from the flying Peckman of the bronze class, and he goes deep at the bus stop. He's sliding and he spins around at the bus stop chicane. Too much pressure from Peckman, and it has gone bad from worse for Kieran Argent in the wall the first time, around at the bus stop, and now basically has to wait for the entire grid to go through. He does cross over and rejoin safely, but it has gone from bad to worse for Kieran, tumbling down the order.
It has indeed, and that puts Peckman up into P number 6 as here comes Sam Williams. Oh, that's putting a lap on the... Oh, Mirko Ricci! Very aggressive on putting a lap there. That car 75 of Richard Bettison had managed to stay out the way and on the racing line as Williams put the lap on him, and Mirko went to lunge on Bettison, got it horribly wrong and nearly took out both Bettison and Sam Williams. That could have been a little naughty from Mirko Ricci there. Thankfully, no one caught up in it. Johnson up the inside of De Block, and that is also going to be, I believe, is that Hunt as well? It is Hunt who's got a bit of damage. He's gone up the inside of De Block. De Block's also got damage on the front of the car, so they've had a drama somewhere.
The thing is that there's so much drama out on the track. It's impossible to keep up everywhere.
Look at the weather as well. It's going to go to a lighter rain in 10 minutes, which will just start to shift some of this standing water a little bit as De Block's about to enter the pits. Then it's going to go back to heavy rain. Here comes Stapley to try and overtake Mark Tucker for third place in bronze. Further forward, though, Malarex has just got himself past Johnson. Does Stapley get himself past Tucker into turn one? Nice and cautious from the pair of them. Stapley up into third in the bronze category. Malarex still fighting with Johnson. Johnson's come back at him. Hunt tried to have a look. Understeered nearly onto the grass. Keeps it going. Is this Hunt's chance in the slipstream to just get onto the back of Malarex? Don't think so. Think he had to have a big lift to not go off himself. Paul Williams up in 7th place, by the way. Great race from him as well today. He got a top 5 in the first race.
Some drivers that you wouldn't expect to be wet weather masters are putting their names out there today. Peckman is one of them, and this is turning out to be, if he can hold this, an absolute turnaround round for him in this championship.
Really could be. Just really could be a massive turnaround for him. And is this the week to do so? We'll wait and see.
I mean, these are massive points we're talking about. Massive chunks of points.
Gary Leach is 2 laps down. 2 laps.
Wow.
That's a lot of time to claw back. He's 2 laps down on Cherry Moore. He's 3 laps down on the leader. Might be 2 laps down on the leader, actually, because of the leader just about to stop. No, he is. He's 3 laps down on the leader. So, Vasic has just started lap 5. Gary is currently on... Gary's still on his opening lap. And Gary goes around, and he's going to have to wait for all this traffic to come through. Well, it's not the day the championship leader going into this one wanted, but Steve Millington leads the championship, and he's only just behind Sam Williams as here comes Mirko Ricci into the back of Sam Williams, and Sam's off through goes Steve Millington. Stop-go penalty for the 840. That may be De Block. It is De Block speeding in the pit lane, and I said it earlier on when Mirko Ricci dive-bombed to get past Bettison, just too aggressive into the back of Sam Williams there, and well, the championship will change again because now Steve Millington, who leads it, is up into 4th place.
Yeah, unbelievable, and just way too late on the brakes. And then, I mean, he doesn't even turn out of it. That's what I don't understand. He can easily turn to the left, avoid the car. And that's terrible. I'm sorry, that's terrible.
No, I don't mind it. I say it or I see it. I've done it on proper broadcasts. You know, that paid broadcasts in the real world as well.
I mean, it doesn't even slow down after. That's terrible.
It's a bad misjudgment.
It's a different case if there's a wall on your outside. There's no wall. You can go straight. You can avoid the car ahead of you. That's just not on at all. Not on at all.
Jamie Lee got past Gary Leach. They're fighting for 29th and 28th. We have had a retirement from this race. Not quite sure who it is. We'll find that out a little later on for you, as Malarex is fending off Hunter, trying to get on the back of Taylor. But Vasic, 9.5 clear. Gabino's having a strong second race, 3 seconds clear of Mirko Ricci. He's looking pretty good. And look again, Langley, that weather in 10 minutes has now changed to a shower. So all this water we're about to start clearing with 29 cars on track will then come back in that 30-minute marker when the heavy rain comes.
I think the best strategy now, just by looking at it, this is strategies change in changeable conditions, obviously, but excuse me, in changeable conditions like this, looking at that forecast, probably want to keep the wet tires on for the shower period, and then bolt some new wets on right when that heavy rain's about to come.
They're going to get warm, they're going to get overpressured, overheated as the track starts to dry up a little bit more. Like you say, bang some fresh wets on for when that heavier rain comes a little later on in the race. Fury's granddad in the chat saying, typical, he couldn't even manage to be the first car to spin. I assume that was aimed at Kieran.
He did get 3 laps in this time, so...
Gary was the first car to spin today, as Malarex still putting pressure on Taylor. Hunt putting pressure on him. Stapley's not far behind. And then it's Tucker. Brian Craig's now gone a couple of laps down. Gary and Jamie Lee are 2 laps behind, or 1 lap behind Cherry. No, they are 2 laps behind Cherry Moore, because Cherry Moore's in front of them on track. So they're going to struggle to get anything out of this one. As here goes Brian Craig. He's just about to be lapped by Neil Broom. And lets Broom go. Richie's starting to close in on Gabino now. And where did Sam Williams end up? P5, so not bad. He only lost 2 places. but he's 5.3 behind Millington. He's now got to get on with this. And look at that dry air line on the racing line. Look at how much water they've cleared off the racing line already. As the rain has calmed down a little bit, it's gone from heavy rain to light rain now. So this will be the time where even more water just starts to get cleared.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at some of these lap times right now. Fastest driver on track, Vasich, by far and away. Then it's almost like it's pretty much your top 5. Then it's actually Mirko Ritchie's put in a good lap there after the incident he's been in. Steve Millington, Gerbino quite quick on track. Peckman, 5th fastest driver on track right now. Absolutely flying out there. And let's keep in mind, he's a bronze driver, and I'm not saying that to knock on bronze drivers, but week in, week out, he's shown bronze pace, and then today, absolutely brilliant pace in these wet conditions.
Yeah, completely agree. It's an interesting one to see what will happen for Peckman, because he's not been as strong as Cherry Moore and Page, but today he's been the better of Cherry Moore. We haven't had Page, as Zero Cool in the chat says, let's go Vatic. Hello to the best commentator in SimPlay. That must be for you, Langley, as we're watching Stay Play on the back of Hunt at the moment. Millington's within a second now of Mirko Ritchie, and we've had some dramas already tonight. Who Darren Cup was 230 minutes of non-stop action. The weather has brought the entertainment here tonight with some great racing. What will tomorrow night bring? We'll wait and see.
Absolutely opened up tonight. Amazing.
Yeah, really. And do you know what? It's been such a mixed bag of results, race 1, and race 2's going the same way at the moment.
Yeah, exactly, and we're going to get a full wet race here in race 2, so it's only been 15 minutes, and it's felt more like 50, so with all the action that's happened out on track so far. So yeah, Vasich is very far and away had some great pace here, pulling away from the rest of the field. Peckman, as of right now, as things stand, I'd put him as my driver of the day. We'll see what who was it? DeBlock. Oh no, he got a drive-through, didn't he? Is he even?
No, he's had damage. Oh, is it DeBlock who's retired?
I don't see him in here
the one
anymore.
Who's retired. He did have damage on his car. Yes, it is Tyler DeBlock. So just got rid of all his qualifying bans. He'll have one more back for his troubles here after a great race 1 win. Right, so I've changed my silver drive of the day now. As easily entertained in the chat. First time catching a stream, enjoying the commentary so far. Well, welcome in. Glad you're enjoying it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button if you are new to the channel, and subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified, because we'll be back live tomorrow night, same time, 8 PM UK time, for the Pro Series, the Platinum and the Gold drivers taking to the action, as well as check out our fantastic sponsor in the description below, Design Manchester, producers of vinyl graphics, laser engraved gifts including mugs, printed t-shirts, and much, much more, including SimPlay Motorsport merchandise. We're watching the fight at the moment, 4P9, between Taylor, Malarex and Hunt. Hunt has dropped off the back of them a little bit. Mirko's gained on Gabino, though, 1.6 seconds between them two. Broom's gaining on Tucker. Tanner Kneebone's up to 15th ahead of his teammate, Kieran Argent. It looks like he's got damage. Oh, yeah, he's not pitted, has he, since his damage? He had that second spin. So, yeah, interesting to see it. We've had 2 retirements because we're down to 28 cars, so I'm not sure who the second retirement is either, but we'll keep our eyes on that one. Malarex has now fell off the back of Taylor and is being caught by that of Hunt once more. And yeah, great night of racing so far. The pro action to come tomorrow night is going to be just as good as well. And I believe, is it Mick Taylor? I believe it is Mick Taylor, because he's meant to be in between Cherry Moore and Jamie Lee on the timing screen I've got in front of me, and he is not. So that could be Mick Taylor retired from this race.
I will say, definitely tune in for tomorrow night, because Matt's trying out a new PC tonight, so he's got to get the Streamlabs going, and he'll have that ready for tomorrow. So the stream should look really crisp tomorrow night, some very fresh quality. It's not as sharp tonight, but again, apologies, new PC, and he'll have that fixed for tomorrow. So yes, give tomorrow night a tune-in as well. You get to hear you get to put a card to the voice of me on track. I'll be toward the back as per usual.
Not last though,
I'll
because that would
definitely
be one of the.
I'll definitely be ahead of Matt Wright though.
Yeah, I was going to say not last because that would be one of the bright orange BMWs. As Gabino is losing time to Mirko Ricci here. We've got Hunt and Tucker into the pits, and definitely that racing line, Langley. It's not dry, but it has definitely cleared a lot of water. You can see a definite line appearing on that wet surface, as the rain is still going to just lighten as we go through this next half an hour before the big heavy rain shower comes back over the circuit to try and scare us all once again. Jamie Lee has pulled 3 seconds on Gary Leach. Gary has struggled in this second race. Whatever he has done to that car since race 1, it hasn't worked. Stardog gaining on Privet at the moment. So let's see what happens here. Here comes Broom onto the back of Tanner Kneebone as well. So what's happened to Kneebone, or has something happened to Argent? Something may have happened to both of them, because I don't remember Broom being that close to Argent, never mind Kneebone. And Kneebone looks like he's got a bit of damage.
No, Kneebone's working. He started
oh, is Kneebone
from the
past
pit
him?
lane, if you
Yeah,
remember.
Kneebone's past him.
Kneebone's past Neil Broom.
Yeah, sorry, apologies, you're right.
Arch is falling off the back a little bit, because Argent, after his second spin, rejoined right in front of Kneebone. Kneebone ended up passing him, and he's fallen about 4 seconds off the back of him now. So with that damage, not able to keep up the same pace. Kneebone's coming from a pit lane start up to 12th so far. So P2 in race 1 showing he definitely still has pace, albeit wet or dry conditions. He had a great qualifying as well, and that was dry conditions. So silver driver of the day. We'll see how he can continue to improve through this field. I think he has the pace, so still 40 minutes left, a long way to go. But he's showing some great pace out there so far.
And I'll tell you what we've not done yet. We've not wished Michael, one of the admins of SimPlay Motorsport, a very happy birthday. 45 years young today, so happy birthday, Mike. Hope you've had a good day. You got Red Bull Lego. So that sums that day up, if you're, in my opinion. But Mirko Ricci's within 2/10 of Gabino now, trying to push on.
Break down.
No, thankfully it's last year's Red Bull, so it's not Ford powered yet.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Honda powered. Gabino is on the back. Sorry, Ricci's on the back of Gabino. 2 Lamborghinis going at it. He's got some pace tonight. He made that mistake, in our opinion, on the back of Sam Williams. This is the visibility, though, on the rear of Gabino. You can see how much them wipers are working overtime as Ricci, late on the brakes again, closes in, understeers wide, more aquaplanes wide a little bit. And you can just see that racing line looking nice and damp. And interesting to see the lighter rain is now here. So look,
I do see drivers going offline now, especially.
Yeah.
I will say Michael Johnson's put the absolute pedal down on his last lap, setting the second quickest time of the session. Wow. And now closing in on Paul Williams for P7. We'll keep an eye on this Ricci-Garbino battle, but yeah, Michael Johnson's put the pedal down on that last lap.
I tell you what,
looking at my timing tower.
We loved Michael Johnson last season for the fact he was in the Nissan. But now he's gone to that Porsche, he looks an even better driver in that Porsche.
Yeah, and he's basically pushing Paul Williams through. Is Paul Williams coming into the pits? He does. He hugs that inside. Michael Johnson a bit wide there. Holds it, though. And no, he was not pitting. He was just letting oh, no, he is pitting. Sorry. Very two similar-looking cars, Paul Williams and Richard Bettison in the Aston Martin. So, yes, he is coming into the pits. And, yeah, Michael Johnson now up into P7.
Up into P7, and Vasic has a 16-second lead over that of Gabino at the moment. Malarek's keeping Taylor honest. Further down the order, we've got a fight between Bounce the Limiter and Flores and Sturrock developing. Gary Leach is in for his stop in what has been a dismal day for him. I tell you what, though, I'm already going to say it. My bronze driver of the day, Peckman. Absolutely phenomenal night for him. He's up into 6th. This could be a 6th and a 4th for the bronze driver if it stays the way it is. As Ricci gaining on Gabino once more. And I believe, is that Sam Greaves? It is the 68 of Hunt who has done his pit stops. He is the lead pit running car out there who is just about to go a lap down to Gabino and Ricci. Ricci's just being a little more patient on the back of Gabino than what he was on the rear of Williams.
Yeah, so the light rain has come now. It is light rain. Track is still wet, but ooh, somebody's in the wall there. That is Hunt, who you said was the leading pit runner. He's got into the wall at the third to last corner there. Track is still wet. It is just a shower right now, and we're going to get some light rain and then heavy rain again. So this is the part of the race, I would say, where you want to run offline. You want to run on those wet parts of the track. Yeah. Keep your tires intact, because those wets will start to overheat just a little bit once this track goes damp. And you could even say that probably that dry-ish line that's forming, or that line that you can clearly see is drier than the rest of the track.
Oh, Gabino's wide.
Probably is a damp line.
Sorry,
yes,
Langley.
Gabino's wide.
It was wide up the S's. Richie then went wide to just try and maybe get the overrun on Gabino through the S's, but it's put them both on the back foot coming down the back straight. It's meant that Steve's probably gained on them a little bit more as Mirko closes in under braking in the bus stop chicane. Can't do anything
Steve's
about
just
it.
put in a great lap.
Yeah, he has.
And
Third
is
fastest.
that Hunt spinning behind? Yeah, yes he is, and he's right on the racing line. He needs to get off of that racing line.
He's done well.
Oh my goodness, that was so close.
He's done well, to be fair.
So close. Oh, yes.
Yeah, I don't think you can blame him for that one. He's done very well there to just get out the way of everybody. He returns to the track now, but yeah, fair play to Hunt. He was kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't, because nobody was going to go to that inside line like Mirko Richie tries on Gabino.
Oh my goodness.
Nobody was going to try and take Hunt on the inside line because he was too close to the curb. And Hunt, I think, has done the best thing there. Instead of going forward the way Brian Craig probably would have gone, as Mirko's now on the grass.
Oh
Mirko's on the grass. Is he going to try and still get up the inside of Gabino? He does. Goes deep, though. Is this Gabino's chance to come back underneath? Can't get the power down because he was on the wetter part of the track. And Gabino back into second place. Mirko is looking really aggressive tonight.
And this is bringing Steve Millington right into the fight. Let's remind you, I said Nebo might be driver of the day, and Peckman definitely bronze driver of the day so far. Millington finished third in race one. He's fourth right now. He's having an amazing day out there in his SimPlay Racing Ferrari.
I'm looking at Paul Williams as well, who got fifth in race one and was running P6 or 7 in this race. You know, it's just a shout that we don't normally make. I was looking at Paul Williams for silver driver of the day, but yeah, Millington's also a shout here. You've got to give an honourable mention to the work Vasic is doing out front. He's under no pressure whatsoever.
18 seconds.
Yeah, it's what a gap that is. It's absolutely crazy. Down to bounce the limiter, Flores and Sturek, though. They're three-way fight happening here for 15th, 16th and 17th. As Easily Entertained says, yes, Gareth, this is great. This is good entertainment to kill the time till F1 this weekend. The Chinese Grand Prix, which I don't have to get up at 5 to 4 in the morning. Yeah, your turn this week.
3 a.m.s for me this week over in the States. It's actually China, I think, is the worst one on the calendar for the States. Most of the races, especially the European ones, are at 9 a.m. around that time, so good time to wake up and get the day going.
Yeah, the Japanese and Chinese I find worse, because it's like by the time the Grand Prix finishes, do you go back to bed or do you just crack on with your day? For me in England, the Australian one's not too bad. It finished at 5:30, so it's back to bed, couple of hours, get up. But the China and Japanese one, 7 in the morning. Japan's normally around 7, 6. By the time it's done, it's 8 or 9. Do you just crack on with your day? Do you go and get another hour? What do you do in this country? So yeah, I find them the worst ones.
Yeah, it's tough. Well, like for me, it's easy. I'll just go straight back to bed.
The bonus is we should find out next week if Saudi and Bahrain are called off due to obviously reasons. We're not going to go into them on stream. They're nice ones. Evening race for me, midday for you. You know, then you've got Miami, Canada coming up as well. Evening races, again, midday-ish, mid-afternoon for you, evening for me. So they're nice ones. The European ones are also a good one as well.
What makes China like this, Japan is actually a bit easier for me. But what makes China so hard is that 3 a.m. is such a weird time slot. That do you go to sleep, wake up, or do you just stay up? Because that's difficult. For Japan, 1 a.m. I can stay up for. And yes, Garbino's taking a different line here. He's a bit wide again through turn 2. I think this is going to leave the door open for Richie here in the slipstream. But again, just the overlap. I think it's just different lines they're taking up those S's.
Well, as we've seen, Richie, he's looked aggressive in this race so far. He's going to go for it. Contact made. Richie round Gabino on the grass. It was always going to happen at the bus stop. And Steve Millington up into third. And now looking to get into second. Malarek's in the pits. Sturrock has been into the pits. We've got Argent on the back of Brian Craig here as well. But yeah, day late, dollar short for Mirko Richie there. Was he alongside on the turning point of the corner? Hard to say, but I'm sure if that ticket goes in, we'll have a look. We have lost another driver. So we've lost Taylor, we've lost a block. Have we lost Paul? No, sorry, that's the best lap times of the race. We've lost Taylor, we've lost a block.
That's a dive bomb. That's a dive bomb.
What's happened there to... What's happened to Gabino? I'm just watching Mirko Ricci and Gabino was just off.
Must have just had an off himself then, with Millington right behind him. So
who was you on about with the dive bomb?
Millington up into second then, right?
Yeah, Millington second.
Just watching the replay here, I'm not sure if you can see it. I just feel like he is so far back at this point, and then Gabino's already turning in to the corner, and that's just it's just too late. Luckily, Gabino's still in the race, but if I'm not trying to be mean here, but if I'm being honest, it's a bit of payback from earlier, because the one on Sam 2 was just way too late.
Was indeed as easily entertained as yet. Chinese GP is 3am for me because he's in the Caribbean, and I'm still trying to figure out who we have lost from this race. There's Cherry Moore, there's Grieve, Sturrock is in the pits. Then it's Lee, then it's Leach.
We lost the third one, you say?
Yeah, we're down to 27. We did have a couple more. There's Bettison, there's Hunt, there's Tucker, there's Privet. I'm not sure who we've lost. Where's Tanner? I can't see Tanner.
Oh boy, that must be internet.
Yeah,
then.
I can't see Tanner Nebo.
Disconnected at the end.
Yeah.
Or at the beginning.
Tanner Nebo's disconnected. Mirko's then got past Gabino now
shame.
after Gabino's problems. Yeah, big shame for Tanner Nebo. Flores on the back of limiter still as Neil Broom now pits. And look, Langley, heavy rain in 10 minutes. And it's going to continue to get heavier over the next 30. So just as this racing line... The racing line for me is now damp. The only reason the track is still classed as wet is it takes into consideration the whole circuit. So it is damp for me at the moment. As the rain now gets a little heavier now, and we're going to start to see that downpour coming back. Like Langley said, change them tyres, fresh set of wets on, and just go again, because these wets would have just started to get over pressure a little bit.
I wonder if Garbino's going to try to repay the favor here. Not encouraging it, but I'm sure he's not too happy about that initial incident at the bus stop, because he's now behind Mirko Ricci. But yeah, the racing line is damp, as you say, so it's time to run offline, try to keep the wet tires as cool as possible. But I will say, once it goes back to that heavy rain period, I think it's time to pit.
Yeah.
If you pit now, you risk burning out your wet tires too easily. But you do want to pit kind of in that window that you can get some fresh wets on. And obviously everyone in the top 13 still has to pit. Paul Williams, actually, the pit leader right now, on track.
Yeah, what did I say? It was 57 seconds for a loss of time for 25 seconds stationary if you don't change tyres. So Williams could work his way up 18.8. Stapley possibly got onto the back of Taylor and be back into that top 8. He was 7th before he pitted, so we'll see where he comes out. Peckman is having a blinder of a race, though. Once again, Gabino's losing out here, and we're watching Bounce the Limiter and Flores. Hunt and Bettison pretty close to each other as Privet now pits from 19th. Cherry Moore, 23rd. He's going to lose even more points to Peckman tonight. Could be his drop score tonight, to be fair.
Yeah, drop scores, so we'll see what it is after this one.
It won't let
Gary
Tanner
Leach
rejoin. He's just put in the chat.
No.
That's a shame. That's a shame.
That's so unfortunate. So dumb is what I would say. So dumb. And yeah, Cherry. Actually, I went down to Cherry Moore. He is running offline to try to keep those wet tires cool. Surprised more drivers aren't trying that at this point. But yeah, I mean, for example, you see how up and down this series can be. Gary Leach, a dominant win last week in the 90 minutes around Kyalami. I mean, so dominant that we barely even turned to him during the race. Kind of like right now with Vasic. It's just how dominant they both were. And then now plumb last of the runners. Well, I guess not. Mick Taylor has rejoined, actually.
Oh, yes.
So that means someone... well, we have lost Tanner, but that does mean one other that we don't know who we've lost then.
Yes, so let me try and figure that one out. So Mick Taylor to block Privet is still there. I'm on best laps against that's because race positions. So to block Taylor,
Garbino is in the pits,
Leach,
by the way.
Sturrock, we've lost Sturrock. Sturrock's the other one we've lost. So double retirement for Sturrock today. Yeah, shame.
Unlucky.
Shame for Sturrock. Double retirement for him. Not going to help him out in this championship. Probably then a reverse grid ban and a quali ban going into next week at Laguna Seca. So that'll be tough for him. But we'll see what happens here. Tanner's gone to hug his dog, he says in the chat, as here comes Malarex tucking underneath that of Paul Williams, who's got a bit of damage to his car as Paul Williams. Williams fighting that strong on the inside, though. This is for the battle between the pit leaders out of those guys who has done their pit stop. Peckman and Gabino into the pits, and Paul Williams stays ahead of Malarex for now, but Malarex pulls out to have another look on Paul Williams. And up the inside he goes, down at the heel. Has he got the momentum to carry him through? Williams will run that little bit wider, but that'll give him that inside line up the hill. Manages to keep the momentum through the corner. On the inside line he goes now. Stardog and Flores also into the pits as Gabino and Peckman go green. Gabino's off the limiter now, so he becomes the net pit leader, as we assumed anyway. And Millington's actually brought the gap down a couple of seconds to Vasic out front, so let's keep our eyes on that coming down a little bit as well as this rain starts to fall more and more in this race. It's only going to get worse over this next 25 minutes. But what a race here. Here comes Malarex now, though, having a look on Paul Williams down towards the inside of turn number 1. Into the corner he goes. Williams gives him the room, swoops around the outside, and the traction for the Porsche out the corner. Much better than the Aston Martin. Malarex is through.
And now Malarex is the pit leader, actually. After
No,
that
Gabino.
pass. No, Gabino, yes, since he just pitted. Sorry about that.
And then
Peckman's also pitted.
And then it is Malarex. Malarex is third out the pit runners now because Stardog's just come out the pits behind these, right ahead of Mirko Ricci, who goes up. Steve Millington, fastest lap of the race. Where's that come from?
Wow. Absolutely flying in that Ferrari. Maybe the Ferrari being light on its tires, being one of the more nimble cars around here, usually is quite harsh on its tires, but might be a treat in the wet conditions for him.
Was half a second quicker than Vasic last lap. But Steve has the fastest lap. Could be the extra point for the current championship leader. Obviously, all results are provisional until they get posted on social media and onto the Discord. Go and follow us on Instagram and Facebook over there to keep your eyes on the
now's around that time
tables.
where you probably want to take those new wet tires.
Indeed. Indeed it is, as Williams is just dropping back from Malarex a little bit. So Taylor's back out on track in 27th, so he's got some work to do. Is he going to complete three-quarter distance here? I'm not sure. He's 11 laps down, which means he's done... How many laps has he done? He's done 6 laps, so I'm not sure he's going to get to three-quarter distance. We'll wait and see if that is a retirement or not for him. And yeah, good race though so far, Langley. Been great racing once again here tonight.
Yeah, and the wet has thrown some absolute chaos there out on track for us.
Really has. It's been very entertaining to watch. Vasic pits. What does Steve Millington do? He's going to stay out, so he's going to take the lead of this race here, will Steve Millington. And what does Mirko Ricci do? He's also going to stay out. Sam Williams is going to be the interesting one to keep our eyes on now. He will stay out as well. So it's going to be a question of where does Vasic come out? He's going to be well ahead of Gabino, you'd imagine, and bounce the limiter. I think he'll be behind Stapley for Vasic, is my guess. I think he'll come out P7, but it's how close and how much he's got to fight these cars before they pit is going to be the question when he comes out. Will that allow Steve the chance to maybe gain some time?
Maybe, but he'd have to gain 20 seconds, and that is quite the gap to catch up to. And Steve's flying out there, don't get me wrong, but that is just quite the hefty gap to close down.
Yeah, we'll see what happens in this race. Broome still within 3/10 of Flores. It looks a lot bigger than that 3 to 4/10 there then. Hunt is being caught by Bettison. He's not being caught, he's being caught by Bettison. And goes on the defensive from the Aston Martin driver. In towards the bus stop chicane goes Hunt. He's had a moment here earlier in the race. Argent's down in 20th in this one as well.
Vasic has come out in pretty much clean air. I mean, Stapley's right up the road, so you're right. But it's pretty much clean air. Clean sailing. I wouldn't have to worry too much about it.
I think it's just going to depend on when Stapley pits and how much he's got to fight Stapley and how much he'll have to fight these cars around him. for position before they come into the pit stops. We'll keep our eyes on it.
Surprised at how big some of the gaps are out there, honestly. But it's showing the wet weather, especially when people get damaged, can show. I think actually the closest fight out here is Hunt and Richard Bederson.
I think it's the only fight within a second, isn't it? Yeah, it is. The only fight within a second. Right, whoa. Steve's come right into the pits. Where's Bounce the Limiter to Vasic? Nowhere near. So that could be the gap that Steve falls into behind Vasic, but ahead of Bounce the Limiter. Vasic 3.5 off of Stapley now. Does Stapley pit? Williams has stayed out. Johnson up into 4th has stayed out. Just waiting to see what Taylor and Stapley do, because these two could be the key ingredients to what Vasic will be thinking here. Taylor looks like he's going to stay out on track once more, and indeed he does.
Is right at the end of the pit lane. Lucky him. Got
a good pit box. Stapley's in. Stapley is in, so that's one car Vasic doesn't have to worry about. Now here comes Vasic. 26 seconds between him and Bounce the Limiter. Steve yet to go green. Bounce the Limiter up through the left-hander and coming towards the penultimate corner now. Heavy rain is now falling on the circuit, so it's just going to get wetter from here. So it's about who has maybe taken them fresh, wet tyres. As we see a car in front, that is Mick Taylor, and Bounce the Limiter comes in, so Steve will fall into that gap, because behind Bounce the Limiter was Gabino. Actually, this would be... Oh, no, it's not even close. Steve's already away. So it's not even close to Gabino at the moment. But Mirko Ricci now leads this race from Williams, from Johnson, from Taylor. Wolski yet to pit. Does he decide to come in this time around? Let's wait and see. No, he stays out. And Jamie Lee as well is yet to pit in this race. Still Bettison trying to keep Hunt honest, though. Where's Peckman now? He's up to 9th. He's up to 8th, sorry, because of Stapley being in the pits. Malarex, who is now running 2nd in bronze, he's up to P10 because of Stapley and Bounce the Limiter. Where's Cherry Moore? He's back up to 21st, but 19 seconds off of Argent. That's a pretty big gap.
Yeah, I wonder where Peckman's going to come out with the likes of Mirko Ricci and Sam Williams. Because he was behind. Let me look at the timetables real quick. Has he been quicker these last few laps? He's done 52. He's done a PB, 52.7, 53.6. Looking at Mirko Ricci's lap times.
Oh, he's well quicker than the pair of them.
Yeah, 54.4. 54.4.
Williams did a 55.8. He's well quicker, yeah.
It's because these wets are quite old now. The wets do wear a bit quicker than the dries. Yeah. I think I could be wrong. And yeah, I just saw Mirko Ricci sliding through that corner there. So.
And also, don't forget, Langley, where that track's got a little damper as the rain slowed. That's going to have hurt them wet tyres even more.
Yeah, exactly. So, I think Peckman might be in a good spot here. He's pitted at the right time, I think.
I think you're right there. Well, Peckman's about to get Williams and Johnson. If Williams is away, he'll get Johnson and Taylor. Here comes Peckman down the start line. There's Williams just leaving the pit you saw on the left of screen just a moment ago behind the timing tower. There is Williams at the top of your screen. Peckman ahead of Sam Williams. Will he be ahead of Mirko Ricci, who did another 54.4? We'll see what Peckman did.
Now, I know Sam was about 8 seconds behind Mirko Ricci. So I think that gives us a good idea. Peckman was behind Sam before the pit stop.
He was.
So he's gained, either from pitting or taking or not taking tires, an absolute chunk of time. He's on for, no matter where he comes out in relation to Mirko Ricci, who is in the pits now, he's on for a legitimate top 5 right now.
Yeah, which will be 5th and 4th at the moment. Now, if he gets Mirko Ricci, he could be on for a double 4th place.
Yeah.
And he's only 4.7 off of Gabino, and is actually, last time around, 1.2 seconds quicker than Gabino. So, Peckman here is on a charge for a potential podium. That'd be crazy. That'd be absolutely crazy. Peckman is flying. We're watching that battle between Hunt and Bettison once again. Where is Peckman? The 207 is off. That is Taylor, who is quite a significant amount of laps down. He is off the circuit and stationary. And Peckman coming up to that little tricky left-hander. Over now in towards the penultimate corner. I think he could have Mirko here. I really do.
We'll see. He's
Mirko's
Mirko's
just
at the
gone
end
green.
of the pit lane.
Right.
So yeah,
no, he's not.
He
No, he's
will not.
Yeah.
But still, a legitimate top 5 right now, and we'll see Mirko Ritchie's blend because Steve's well clear of Mirko. Garbino is behind Mirko Ritchie, so has lost some time in that pit stop cycle. I wonder if that's from the damage repair though.
Damage repair, and has Mirko taken tyres as well?
I don't think so because he's quite close
And he
to
was
Steve
he
now.
was sliding around like mad before his pit stop. Hunt has pulled a bit further clear of Betterson than that 2/10. We've got Limiter, who has been passed by Privet. It says it was 0.3 of a second, but Privet's at the final corner. Yeah, Limiter's had a big off somewhere. Where's Tucker? Tucker may have even passed Limiter. And Jamie Lee, no, Tucker's a lap down to Limiter, sorry, so he hasn't passed him. Jamie Lee then the only car with Taylor still to pit in this race. So it's Vasic from Millington with then Mirko Ritchie, the 75. There was a yellow flag for. That is Betterson. No, was it? No, it's the 207 who's got that going of Taylor.
Malarex has had a strong race as well.
Yeah.
8th in bronze for bronze, 2nd in bronze, 8th overall. Very strong showing in that Porsche. The Porsche looks like a great car here tonight.
Does indeed. Millington's got the gap down under 20 seconds. Ritchie 3.9 behind. Gabino 11.2 behind Ritchie. Peckman now 3.4 to Gabino. He's just taken another 7/10 out of Gabino's time, so he's catching him. He's slowly catching him.
Yeah, because Garbino's under pressure, and he's been under pressure. He's got Cherry Moore right behind him, and he's slower than Cherry Moore right now, who is a lap down to him.
2 laps down to him. And Cherry Moore wants to try and have 14 minutes where he can try and close in on Kieran Argent. Is what he's going to try and do. He's quite the way behind Kieran Argent, I do believe, as Gary Leach stays out the way.
He's 2 laps down to Kieran Argent, so...
No, he's 18 seconds behind Argent. Look, changes
There
across his
yeah.
line. So he's only 18 seconds behind Argent. Cherry Moore
hit.
nearly into the back of Gabino then. You would have thought Gabino may have fancied letting Cherry Moore go there. But either way, that could have caught Gabino out, and that could allow Peckman to gain up even more. Andy Taylor is now catching Paul Williams for 9th and 10th in this race. Even if Paul Williams comes away with 10th, it's still a strong showing from Paul Williams tonight. Really good race 1 and a solid race 2.
I mean, some names that you're just not used to being at, like, the top 10, honestly.
Yeah, it's a fair shout. In both races as well, to be fair.
Peckman, Malarex, Paul Williams, even Andy Taylor isn't always consistently in this top 10 position. Garbino really isn't consistently in the top 10 position either. He's very quick on his night, and tonight is that night, it's obvious. But he's not consistently in the top 10, so still P4 right now, great shout for him. And it is going to get even more wet in 10 minutes, so this is going to help those wet tires out a lot.
A lot, yeah, it is indeed. Easily Entertained says in the chat, surprised there's no Mustangs running. There's a few tomorrow night. I don't believe there is a Mustang on the Wednesday night Pro-Am races, is there? I don't believe so.
Mustang in this series does have a power restrictor to it, so it has become a less popular choice recently.
Whoa, Paul Williams has dropped it on the curb. Nearly hit Andrew Taylor as he's dropped it on the outside curb. Loses out to Stapley. Big damage for Paul Williams in that one. What a shame, because he was having a really good race. Oh, he's in the wall again there as he tries to flick it around. Through will go Stardog. Paul Williams maybe back in the pits with that. Shame for him because he was having a strong show in there. As Millington, second place, fastest lap, so he's back in the pits. What a shame. That changes my vote for drive of the day
I've
again.
just seen a black and blue or a Forever Ford car in the wall again, and it is the only one left in this race. Same spot as before. Now turn 3 or turn 3 and 4.
He's got to be careful here. He's got to be careful here. Oh, he has. Right. Whew. He's stationary. He's stationary. There's a lot of cars coming through. Still don't move. Maybe still don't move. He's moved. He's moved. Oh, he keeps it out the way. Whew. Good job, Kieran. Well done.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Oh, boy, indeed. He's had a good... No, let's not sugarcoat it. He's had a bad night. He's had a bad night tonight as Kieran Argent. He was struggling last night in practice. He was telling us he could barely string through. That won't turn neither. He's cut that chicane because that's struggling to turn in. Yeah, you can see, look, he just can't get it to turn right. That may be back into the pit lane for Kieran Argent. So that may allow Privet and others to get back through and unlap themselves. So, yeah, shame for Kieran Argent. He was telling us last night that he struggled to string laps together. And, you know, these conditions don't make it any easier.
Let's not overlook this Pecman-Garbino battle, because I think what's coming for Mirko Ricci, he's still, obviously provisionally he won't be on the podium, but he could get a podium after penalties if he can get by Garbino here.
Yeah, I mean, Mirko
I think
probably looking at a
Mirko
10-second penalty. If that ticket, potentially so. He came off worse in the Garbino incident, so it may just be penalty points over a time penalty. But we'll see what happens. He's, you know, it just depends on how quick Pecman can pass, can catch and pass Garbino here. It is so dark overhead in these wet conditions here at Watkins. Glen is easily entertained, says, okay, power restrictions understood, along makes more sense. I love the Mustang. Mustang's a great car, lovely car.
Yeah, because especially in, obviously, top split, or the pro drivers, can make the difference in some of the other cars, such as, yeah. Wait,
leaders off! Leaders off! Flag. Yeah, leaders off. I've just seen the yellow flag. He's backwards. He's backwards. He's facing the wrong way. Here comes Steve. Steve Millington leads the race with the fastest lap. Whoever in the chat said Vasic is prone to a spin, that is his biggest mistake. Mirko's into second. Where's Garbino? Vasic gets around. Garbino's coming through now. Vasic is back on his way. Doesn't look to have any damage, but there's Garbino. Steve Millington leads this race. The 75 of Peterson has returned to the pit lane. Just seen him off track. Argent's back in the pits. How it has changed now the weather has hit hard again.
Is this the statement for Steve Millington in the championship? P3 in race 1, running P1 right now in the feature.
With fastest lap.
Absolutely stamp his name on the championship lead.
And bearing in mind, next week is the halfway stage of the season. You want to be going into that back half of the season in a strong position in the championship. And that is where Steve is right now. He is in that strong position as it stands in this race. What a job for Steve Millington here. Really has been fantastic. Kieran and Paul Williams in the pits. We've just lost another car. Is that Bettison who we've just lost? I believe it is. I think Bettison has called it a day as well. So that's another retirement for Bettison in this one.
What I was saying before, we got an absolutely surprising change of events in this one. The pro drivers tend to be able to make up that Ford advantage in the corners, such as like the Ferrari and the Lambo and the Porsche. But especially in this split, it's easier to drive in a straight line.
Yeah.
For example, I've seen some drivers without the power restrictor in the Ford be easily 4 or 5 tenths quicker than they usually are. I just saw 333.
That's Brian Craig.
Yeah.
I think he's just staying out of the way of the lap traffic. Oh, he's got damage. He's got some big damage, that car. Look at Cherry Moore all of a sudden up in 16th place.
Yep.
And in fact, no, he's 15th. He's 15th now because he's already passed Brian Craig. Brian Craig's going to park that up and take it to the pits, I think.
That's the benefit of just continuing to run in this one. And someone else is off. Someone else is wide. It was Garbino wide at that corner. He hasn't lost the place, but he's definitely lost time now to Pecman.
Well, he's lost out to Cherry Moore, hasn't he? Because Cherry Moore was behind him, so he's lost out to Cherry Moore, who's only 25 seconds off the back of Wolski. Wolski with damage as well. We're into the last 10 minutes of this race. Brian Craig is trying his damnedest to get this back to the pits. Just stationary at the moment. But Steve Millington, what a drive. He's 10 seconds clear of Mirko Ricci. Can Vasic catch Mirko Ricci towards the end? Or is there another mistake in the Lexus driver in this one? Garbino running 4th. with Peckman in 5th place. He's lost a lot of time because the gap was 4 seconds. It's down to 1.9 between Peckman and Gabino now.
Yeah, so we'll see if Peckman can do something about that. Get P4 on the road. We will see.
Tell you the fight to watch. Johnson's really been clawing. Yeah, well, Johnson's been clawing in on Sam. He's just took another 7-8 tenths out of him in that last sector. So Johnson really charging on Sam Williams here at the moment. A little bit wide through turn number 1, but Sam just struggling in these wet conditions.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, still, since Sam's kept it on the road, he's still P6 tonight. Michael Johnson has a great run up through those S's, but the Porsche does lack a little bit in a straight line. And yeah, Sam will stay ahead for now, but yeah, Michael Johnson putting him under pressure into the bus stop. The Porsche will be great at this back half of the track.
Peckman's within 7 tenths of Gabino now as well, so how it chops and changes in this race, ebbs and flows incredibly here tonight at SimPlay Motorsport. Paul Williams still in the pits. That could put Jamie Lee and Gary Leach ahead of Paul Williams. Bonus shout out to them too. That big lap 1 damage, both returned to the pits and have carried on in this race. What a job they've done. Peckman on the back of Gabino now, starting to put him under pressure.
Basically pushing him through that corner. Can he get a good run out of that right-hander? He does have the inside, and he's looking to the inside now. And is he later on the brakes? Gabino tries to hold it around the outside. I think they make a little door-to-door contact. They're still side-by-side for this next left-hander.
Peckman will try and tuck this one underneath, just like that. Door opens. What a move. Little bit of door-to-door again. Nothing wrong with that one. More Gabino turning in on Peckman than Peckman forcing his way through. The door was there. Peckman is up into 4th. He may be 8 seconds off the... Vasic, by the way, he's 2 seconds off the back of Ritchie. He has brought 4 seconds down in the matter of no time in this race. But Peckman through. Williams putting... It's Johnson putting Williams under pressure. And Williams right on the back of Gabino as well. With 5 minutes left to go on the clock. What a race for for potentially the podium if Mirko Ritchie does get that penalty.
Yeah, exactly, and it's been absolute chaos here tonight.
It's been brilliant racing, though. Absolutely fantastic. Paul Williams has lost out to Jamie Lee! Johnson and Williams are in the wall! They've made contact, they both in the wall, bounce back in the right direction and carry on their way. Who's the car behind them? Malarex. Could Malarex be in for 6th place in bronze? Second on the bronze road. Johnson looking up the inside of Williams again. And in the wall went Sam and Johnson. I didn't quite see look what happened because I was just looking at my other screen. The 68 of Hunt is back into the pit lane, or is coming out the pits. The 96 has now had a moment. Who is the 96? That is Sam Greaves. Not the night for Sam. That'll possibly... No, Privet's too far back, so he should hold on to that. But Johnson and Sam Williams, what happened there?
I'll find out for you in a second.
Get on the Discord then to have a look at what happened. As Johnson still attacking the back of Sam.
Oh boy. Oh, what's happened there? This is where I backed out.
Tasty.
Previously.
Tasty.
I don't think I saw it. Interesting.
Yeah, strange. Johnson's just got past Sam. Vasic now on the back of Mirko Ritchie. So yeah, we can't tell you what happened to Sam. And
I think it's because I want to replay for what, and so I wasn't able to see it. Unfortunately.
Makes sense. Let's see if I can see it on the stream. Oh, Johnson just got a run up the hill alongside Williams.
Ritchie was a bit wide, and Vasic is through on him now, up into P2.
Johnson.
Back up into P2.
That's on Johnson. So, yeah, that was on Johnson.
Peckman's got by Gabino as well.
Yeah, Peckman passed Gabino a few laps ago, just before Johnson and Sam. Yeah, you're all right, you're fine. So, right, I'm going to get the drive of the day poll out.
Stardog is off. Yellow flags for the 741 Porsche of Keenan Stardog. One of the last cars on the lead lap, I believe, actually. In P12, it is getting very treacherous out there. It's only gotten wetter since that second storm shower really appeared. I want to see if Peckman can close in this 10-second gap of Mirko Ricci, because he might be getting a 10-second penalty coming his way. So an overall podium, well, nonetheless, it's P4 already. And that is unbelievable as a bronze driver. To pull that out the bag, absolutely
he's within 8
stunning
seconds
race for him tonight.
So he was 11 seconds behind after the first sector. It's now 8.8. So a good job from him. Where's Steve on the track? We're going to get one more lap in here. Driver of the day vote has gone up. Millington, Peckman and Johnson. If you pick the other option, please do comment who you have picked as other. Me and Langley will always give our bronze and silver driver of the day. And I think we're both probably going to pick the same one. Paul Williamson in the pits in this race without bad damage. Hunt has been in the pits again. He's lost out to Leach. Jamie Lee has also got past Brian Craig. And Brian Craig and Gary aren't too far. They're about half a lap separating each other. So another big moment for Brian Craig could spell disaster there. Peckman within 8.4 of Mirko now. And what a race. Look at this. If this was the 90-minute race, it'd be drying towards the end of the next half an hour.
To Sam Williams. He's in the pits.
Oh,
I wonder if he crashed.
He's not run out of fuel, has it? Let me double check.
He better not have.
Let me double check that.
I'm actually going to check this.
No, he still had 35 litres in when he last crossed the line. So that'll give Taylor a place. Stapley will be in the top 10 for third place in bronze as well. So what a run. But Steve Millington, he's got half a lap to go. What a drive from the young man today. Vasic made the mistake, Steve didn't. And Steve's going to come home for a race win. He's not quite there yet, but he nearly is. Who, Sam?
Stacked it at the penultimate corner, yeah.
Privet has just got past Greaves for 16th and 17th. Bounce the limiter isn't too far, but it's about half a lap behind Sam, but they've both got another lap to go. Where is Millington? He's coming towards the final couple of corners now. What a drive from Steve Millington today. Absolutely masterclass from Steve Millington. A real masterclass in the wet here at Watkins Glen. A top job.
The entire bronze podium in the top 10. Yeah. Great drive from all three.
Steve Millington, though, rounds the final corner. And he's going to take the race win here at Watkins Glen. Your championship leader wins race number 2 of the night at Watkins Glen. Steve Millington wins in great fashion from Vasic, who looked good for the early parts, but it wasn't to be at the end for him. Mirko Ricci's going to come home to take a solid P3, but is he facing investigation? And does that put Peckman on the overall podium? We'll wait and see in the steward's room over the weekend, but Peckman will come across for P4. Great drive. Oh, it may not put Peckman on the podium, just outside that 10-second mark. Gabino P5, Johnson P6, and we just now wait for Malarex to come towards the line. But a solid drive. Peckman, your bronze winner, don't forget as well. And then Malarex is going to come across for second place in bronze. Good drive from him. Andy Taylor, great to have Andy back last week. Strong night tonight. You know, he took an 8th and a 6th. In contention for driver of the day as well, potentially. Good stuff from Andrew Taylor as he'll come to the line in P number 8. Yeah, very clean. Stapley 9 and 3rd place in bronze. They didn't hit each other, neither did Williams and Taylor, so that's a bonus, I suppose. Flores looks like he's going to come home. Clap it up. Flores looks like he's going to come home for a 10th place finish. 75, disqualified, driving the wrong way. That was Betterson, but that's fine. I got the position he was in after at the end to get the others. But Flores, P10, good stuff from him. Williams has finished in the pit. Oh no, has he finished? No, he may have to still go round and do a lap. He may have crossed the line.
But the thing is, Wolski's crossed the line, so he can't finish lower than 12 because someone
11th,
just left.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 12. Just left in the top 10 who finished. So, yeah, he can't finish lower than 12. So he is a little bit lucky when it comes to that. But
I mean, will he come out the pits at all? To be fair, that's going to be the question to ask. Sam Greaves stopped go 30. What for?
Did he make his pit stop?
I believe he did, yeah. No, he done his pit stop. I'm not sure why Sam's got a stop go 30. Either way, he finishes 16th, and that's where he will finish because he was ahead of Bounce the Limiter by a couple
note
of
on
laps.
that. Richard Edison also got disqualified, so I don't know if
that was after he'd crossed the line.
Yeah, but still, it might put him at the back. So
I've already jotted down his race position was 21st, so I've got that one, and I'll sort that out on the sim grid tonight. Phil Atherton and Richie for driver of the day. He says, okay, not sure I agree with that one. Good racing. GG guy says Gary Clarble. Vesic in the chat. I had a Bluetooth wreck on TV. There we go. So that's possibly what distracted him in this race. Right, Langley, final thoughts and driver of the day.
I mean, it's quite easy today, isn't it? Because the ones that are my drivers of the day, by far and away, have earned it. It's definitely Pac-Man driver of the day, and I think overall driver of the day, because we've seen Steve at the front end before, and we know he's had the pace. Pac-Man, I've never seen such a performance of someone who's usually in the 15th to 20th area. So Peckman definitely overall driver of the day for the bronze category as well, and then Steve Millington, my driver of the day in the silver category. P3 in race 1 and P1 in race 2. Absolutely putting his name on a championship shout this season.
Yeah, really is. It's been a really good day. Watkins Glen has provided us with such drama and such action here tonight. It's been a fantastic night's worth of racing. Look, the session resets. It's bone dry and no rain in sight. How the drivers probably would have wanted that one. But what a night's worth of racing it has been here at Watkins Glen. I'm just currently inputting the points. Is there anybody joining us in the commentary box at the moment? There is Steve Millington. We'll get to him in fact, Langley, take it over with Steve Millington for a second while I input these points.
We will see if anyone else joins us in the comms box. We usually save the best for last, but since we have no one else to talk to right now, we'll save the best for first in this case. Steve, absolutely brilliant night for yourself. Not only a P3 in race 1, but the race win kind of just fell into your lap in race 2. Nonetheless, it was going to be a third and a second, but race 2, race win, fastest lap, bang. How was tonight?
Oh, crazy, absolute crazy conditions. It was more if you could stay in at the wall and just consistent, because up the hill from turn 1, up from 2 to up the hill, it was just aquaplaning all the way up there, and it was just a matter of sticking to your line, and it was the least person who made the less mistakes that won today. And yeah, I feel sorry that he did spin. But you've got to keep it on the track at the end of the day.
Yeah, I wonder if he had something go wrong with Bluetooth on his TV, he said in chat, but that'd be really unfortunate. But nonetheless, very squeaky clean from yourself today for the incidents that happened out there in these conditions.
Definitely, to be fair, first race, very lucky to get through. Second race, the same. It all happened just behind me. I know Leach got tangled up the hill, and I just managed to miss all that carnage. And it kind of gave me a buffer to work with to follow in Richie. And he pulled me away. And I noticed as soon as we pit, he did not pit for tyres. So with the heavy rain coming down, he was on slightly warm wets, which gave me a very minimal advantage, but managed to open that gap enough to where I had a bit of a safe cushion not to push so hard. And then obviously what happened to him in first was very unfortunate. Don't worry, if he did disconnect or the TV went off, do not want to win like that. He was miles ahead, and I could not keep up with him today. So good if anything's gone wrong there, but yeah, well happy with today's performance.
Well, like you said, you had to keep it on track to get a good result. And if you think of all the other drivers that were toward the sharp end of the grid tonight, Sam, you think of Michael Johnson, Mirko Ricci, Gerbino, they all got involved in incidents. You didn't. You kept it squeaky clean. So great job from you tonight, and an absolutely massive result for your championship shout. Now championship leader as well after tonight. Not sure how many points clear. Matt will have this with us in a second, but next weekend next week is Laguna Seca, and how we like Laguna Seca. I assume pretty much the exact opposite weather conditions next week.
Yeah, guaranteed to drive down there, but I'll be honest, I do love Laguna Seca. It's one of my favourite tracks. It really is. So I am really looking forward to that, and then the challenge of everyone else pushing behind. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I've never been in the lead of the championship yet, So new feeling for me, which feels great. Had a poor endurance race at the weekend, and this cheers me up. So well happy.
Well, at least tonight's result can show that you shouldn't be too hard on yourself. You can bounce back and immediately if you keep it in the right mindset. Great job from yourself tonight, Steve. Looking forward to see you again next week around Laguna Seca. Keep it up, and that championship might just be yours. Great job tonight, buddy.
Thank you, and great commentary as usual. So keep it up, lads. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, buddy. Well, Steve Millington has a huge lead in the championship now over Mirko Ritchie. It's 438 points to Mirko Ritchie's 374. So near enough a 60-point switch there. Gary Leach is in third with 366.5. Sam Greaves down to fourth with 338. Michael Johnson on 332 and Sam Williams on 328. Wolski's on 310 from Tanner Kneebone on 288. Stardog 277 from Kieran Argent's 244. Back in the top 10 after a dismal race for him. Diego Flores P11 219. Vasic on 218.5. Half a point behind Flores. De Block 215.5. Hunt is on 205. Gabino 178. Paul Williams 172. Andrew Taylor is 17th from Jamie Lee. Then it is Sturrock, Brian Craig, Nuke Waste, Bounce the Limiter, Richard Bettison, Dronelander and Cummins. In the bronze category then, how it has changed and how Peckman has a 53-point lead over Cherry Moore. What a night for him. We'll check this is obviously before all the drop scores are taken into account and before the results are finalised. Malarex on 257, Broom on 233 with Tucker on 209.5. Page down to 6th on 199. Then it's Stapley, Privet, Taylor, Smith, Simcoe and Ian Best. The team's championship is pretty one-sided at the moment. It is a 216-point gap between SimPlay Racing and Greasy Bandits Racing. SimPlay, even though Gary's not had the best of nights and Steve's done the job, they have clawed even more points over Greasy Bandits. 4Q as well are even now 44 points behind Greasy Bandits. Forever Forward are down in 4th. Vanguard Racing are in 5th from Cloud9. Richie's Course Team, Team GBR, Team Merlot, Balkan Simub, FRL Racing Team, Black and Blue Racing, Pages Racing Team, Billy Nomex, Mustang Alley Racing and Quantum Motorsport. What a race it has been here at Watkins Glen. We look forward to tomorrow night in the Pro Series. But from, we haven't done the driver of the day in the audience. Me and Langley are both going the way of Peckman and Millington, and Peckman takes the fans' vote for driver of the day. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button if you are new, the bell to be notified, and hit that like button if you like what you see here. I'll be back tomorrow night in the commentary box, see if anybody's joining me or if it'll be solo once again. But we'll be back for the pros at Watkins.